Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Happy Halloween. I'm Tripp. Welcome to Tripp Smokepit. If you've never heard of me before, that's all right, because I got canceled last night. This is my buddy, Brady. We were in the Marine Corps together for a little bit. We actually met at church in Afghanistan. And over here, I have my buddy, Damien Larkin, the author of this book, Big Red, which is an awesome military sci-fi that you should check out, by the way. And tonight's episode is brought to you by Jameson. They're not paying us. I just fucking like
Yet.
So, Damien, how you doing tonight? What are you doing for Halloween, man?
Not much. To be honest, it's one of the quietest kind of Halloweens we've had because Ireland's gone into our second lockdown there about 2 weeks ago. So it's surreal. It's similar to St. Patrick's Day this year, where normally we go to the parades and everybody be out kind of like just doing stuff. This year we ended up celebrating Paddy's Day on a mountain. We just climbed up like a mountain just over there. And we all kind of just stood there, like all these random different people from Dublin, just congregated on a mountain. And same as this year, nothing to do. Normally there'd be like a ton of bonfires. So the thing on Halloween is to go out. All the kids in the neighborhood just grab pieces of wood and set up like big fires and stuff like that, and you kind of throw things onto the fire. But yeah, that's out as well.
So you burn shit for Halloween.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right.
It's like a Celtic kind of tradition. It goes back like thousands of years, where Halloween, because like historically they believe this was the day when the world of the living and the world of the dead was kind of closest together.
Yeah, the veil then.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they used to basically set up these massive bonfires to scare off the evil spirits, and it survived Christianity and Catholicism, and just kind of it's part of the social fabric now at this stage. So might sound random, but yeah, it doesn't feel like Halloween without a big massive bonfire.
Oh, dude, we're gonna get some fucking Halloweenish shit going on. But first, cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Sláinte.
Jameson, give me money.
Come on. Free money and lots of it. Or booze. I'll take booze. You want to send us a couple of cases of this?
I'll drink it every show. I promise. I swear to God.
Yeah, fire is still a huge part of Halloween celebration and stuff. Like, believe it was England or just Europe. During kids would just go door to door and ask for like peat or moss to burn the witches. Yeah. And then they would just have these massive bonfires, and these creepy kids would just dance in a circle and scream, "Burn, fire, fire, burn the witch, fire, fire, burn the witch," because that's not fucking offsetting at all,
Yeah. Like I said, we would have done something similar where the kids over here, they kind of knock into you normally a few weeks coming up to Halloween, and they'll ask for any kind of old furniture, or sometimes people won't throw things in the skip. You might just leave it out your back or something like that, or maybe you might have an old table you want to get rid of. You just hand it out to the kids. They'll bring it over to the field and just set fire to it then on Halloween.
Do you guys do a thing? There's a thing we do here where it's called because how the trash guys come get your trash every fucking week. There's a thing we do once a year, and it depends on where you're at. It's always different, where you're allowed to put like furniture or TVs or like your refrigerator out there, and they'll come grab that. And it's usually just called Junk Day. But it'd be neat if Junk Day was always a week before Halloween for that.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have anything like that, so I think that's why we tend to save stuff for Halloween. Just to make the bonfire bigger. But yeah, that'd be cool. You can't beat a big fire. No,
hard to do that. Oh, well, I mean, I think California might disagree with you.
Yes. Jesus.
I mean, happy Halloween, Amanda. Hello, Carter.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that stuff happening in California. Obviously, we wouldn't get the full kind of spiel of it, and I don't know the ins and outs of it, but just like this real apocalyptic end of days type of stuff, like it's crazy, just absolute.
Well, it's their own fault. Just think about it like this: California is a fucking desert. It's dry. It's hot. It's prime for burning, and people aren't supposed to fucking live there. It's not technically habitable for human beings. And then human beings, being the arrogant assholes we are like, "Oh, God said I can't live here. I'm gonna live here." And then God was like, "Guess what, guys? No, fuck, you're not."
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Shout out to Riverside Brewing for this IPA. Not great tasting, but 8.6 alcohol content. I love it.
Nice. Yeah. I had like an 8.6% beer before, and it was like drinking tar. It was like rocket fuel type of stuff, There's just really gasoline or something like.
Brewery company in Erie, and they have a beer that's like 11.5%.
No way. I'd say that'd blow the head off you. A few of those.
They legally can't sell it anywhere but the bar because of
Right.
liquor laws. But
Yeah.
fucking insane.
Rocket fuel. Absolute rocket fuel.
Speaking of that, I know we talked about Guinness, but did we talk about Schmittix?
No.
No?
I don't think so, no. Wait, are you a fan of Smithix?
Sometimes, like when I want Guinness, but I don't want the motor oil part. Like,
Gotcha.
if I'm like, it's my hangover drink, you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, no, it goes down easy as well. Like it's a type of kind of ale, so it's kind of like the best of both worlds in terms of like getting stout and beer, you know.
Right.
I drank it a little bit like before, but it's just something with the tang. It's not really kind of my cup of tea now, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Like I mean, there's worse things out there to drink, you know.
Yeah. No, I like it, but it's mostly for like when they don't have Coors or Guinness.
Yeah. How do you use the lads pour the Guinness the right way over there in whatever, like in your local pub or?
Like you're supposed to shake the fuck out of the can and then like pretty much like work the foam, kind of like you're stimulating the beer inside of the glass just to make sure that the fluid that you get out of it afterwards is nice and tasty.
This up and down type of motion, is it?
Yeah.
Milky?
Yeah, you have to let it aerate, fucking, and then if it goes over the top, you gotta like make sure that it doesn't spill out on.
Of course. You've done this before.
Beer.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, because we've travelled like abroad, obviously pre kind of lockdown stuff. But it always kind of kills me when I see someone like pour a Guinness not the right way, you know. Like over here, you kind of like the barman fills it up about 3/4 of the way up the pint glass, kind of sets it down. You give it about 2 minutes, and then you finish it off, and that's what makes it so delicious, like kind of thing. Whereas in some places, I've just seen them like just pour, kind of stand back, and this big bubbly, foamy, mad yolk kind of thing, you know.
Or they do that shit where they put the glass up to it sideways, and like it comes out of the spout without all the foam, and then it's like, all right, here's your stuff with all your like air still in it. It's like, no, you gotta work, man.
Do it right. Come on.
You gotta work the glass.
This man knows what he's talking about.
The only part of Ireland I've been in, I was in the Dublin airport for like 6 hours before we went to Afghanistan.
They used to do all the stopovers. Way back in the day, kind of thing, and they wouldn't let you out for anything. Like you had to just stay there for the 6 hours.
Yeah, we were just inside the airport, and everybody was hitting on every Irish woman in there. Like, oh, I'm going to score in this airport.
Well, how do you not hit on Irish chicks?
Let's
be honest.
I say this like I didn't try either, but it's just like the thought that I'm going to be able to bang this traveling chick in an airport in 6 hours is just funny to me.
Well, one of the things that I think is interesting about that is if you look at the the like ethnic demographics of the United States, we're mostly German descendants, even though like England started it. And all the Germans came over and like, kind of set up the rest of America. And we used to have like a huge German culture here too until World War I, and then we're like, yeah, all right, let's not do that anymore. Like we're Americans now, fuck those guys. But with that, there's a bunch of like Irish and fucking Scots that came over too, and then they fucked the German people because I don't know if you've seen people in Germany or like met any of them. They're all uglier than fucking sin. But they mix with the local northern British Islands people, and it's like, all right, cool. Americans are attractive now.
I've been to Leipzig.
Yeah, dude, Germans are fucking uglier than shit. Dude.
No, and our airports, they do have Jack and Cokes in the can, and that's very great to see after Afghanistan.
Yeah, I'd say. And I remember I was on a plane over there. Like I went to Germany last year, but we had to get kind of 2 flights. So one to the main kind of terminal, and then like an internal kind of flight. But they handed everyone free beers, just randomly. Like here, have a free beer. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I'm the Germans are nice people. Like we killed all the fucking assholes.
Yeah. And how?
Straighten those fuckers right out. Like that's one of the few things Russia did right.
Absolute mad stuff. Well, I was only kind of reading about the Battle of Stalingrad there. Can't think of the name of the author, but like he's done a few books about World War II, and it's absolute intense stuff. Like when you're kind of reading it, how obviously everything went downhill after Stalingrad, and the Russians just came after them like this juggernaut, like just like crippled the country, like tore it apart, like it's absolute madness, And even in Berlin, you can still see the scars of that battle, like the Reichstag proper destroyed with all machine gun fire and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah, they left all the graffiti and marks up, so it's like, all right, let's not forget this because they have some sense of fucking honor. It's like, all right, so these assholes kind of fucked this country up. Let's make Germany great again. Without all the fucking Nazis, we can do without that. Dicks.
Well, like even in America, there's still buildings with battle scars from the Civil War.
No way.
Like we celebrated New Year's outside of a house in Gettysburg that still has a hole from a cannonball round.
No way.
There was a really cool story there too, because we took a tour and they were telling us about stuff. And there was this house. It was like almost downtown. It was like at the ass end of downtown, and in the attic there was like a vent this big.
Farnsworth Inn. That's where we drank on New Year's.
Yeah. But what happened during the battle there was a bunch of, I don't remember if they were Confederates or
no, they're
Union guys,
Louisiana Tigers.
Yeah, so they were guys from Louisiana, and what they would do is they would get in front of the hole and shoot. And then, he'd roll out of the way, next guy shoot, next guy. And then they kept getting killed. So they just like take the dead dude, put him out of the side. And it's like, all right, we'll just keep up with the fucking rotation.
Yeah.
And then by the time the Union got there, they're like, there's an attic of dead Confederates up here. How the fuck did this happen? But the side of that building looks like fucking
marked, man.
Yeah. It looks like fucking Mickey Rourke's face before the plastic surgery.
No, there's bullet holes all
That's horrific.
And right next to it, they have a bar now. And we drank there for New Year's and just looking at all these pockmarked bullets. And that house is supposedly the most haunted house in Gettysburg. Like, they have issues where, like, blood will appear on the walls, and no matter how many times they paint over it and stuff.
Oh, man, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, super hot place. Because, like, the downtown is, like, what, maybe 500 yards from, like, the edge of where the shit happened. And then, like, that was... Like the big battle, like was it before or the big battle took place like after the they pushed through the fucking city?
Well, the first day, history nerd here loves the Civil War. So the first day, the Union line, they didn't have enough troops, so they buckled and they went through the town and they just got murdered through the town and stuff like that. And the second day they came back strong, but they didn't have enough troops, and just the Confederate force just pushed them through this town. So like everywhere in that town, like bodies dropped and stuff like that. Like there's a story in the bank, a bunch of the civilians were hiding in a vault, and all of a sudden Union soldiers came in, and that became a makeshift hospital. So all these people hiding out got to witness amputations and all that fun stuff.
Jesus, it's crazy. Crazy when you think about it.
When like what made you a good doctor was how well you could use a fucking saw.
Well, like when we stayed there, a hotel right across the street is a place called the Dobbins Landing, and the front door was used as a makeshift bed, basically.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then after they just put the fucking door back up.
Oh yeah. Oh,
well, can't waste a good door.
Right anyway, let's put it up.
It's got a nice stain. They didn't even fucking.
It's got history.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that sounds crazy. And are you allowed to kind of stay in that kind of house, the haunted one? Like, is that something that's open to the public? Can you,
you can stay there.
10 or something?
It's an inn, a bed and breakfast. You can stay there.
That sounds badass, man. I'd love to check that out.
Yeah. Although,
if you come to the United States, let us know. We'll go to Gettysburg, man.
Yeah, we'll do, man. I'm gonna hold you to that. That's a deal.
Do it. And it's cool because like downtown, there's also a really good bar scene. So
man, it's incredible.
So it's like, hey, we're gonna go do history all day, and then we're gonna fucking show these fucking fuckers how to fucking fuck.
Bring it on.
Like I said, we did New Year's there. Me, Tripp, and Mal. We won't mention the other person right now.
Okay.
And fucking cunt. Anyway, like right across the street, there's a veteran-owned distillery, and just like we got bottles and all this stuff. And then we went downtown, not expecting anything, but they had fireworks and all the bars were open, and it was just incredible. Yeah.
No, that veteran place though, I really liked it because like the liquor was not good, but we showed him our like Veterans Association's IDs, so we kind of drank for free.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
It's like really cool. the best beer is free beer. It's like, listen, I would rather drink Jameson, but this shit's free. And, after fucking 6 drinks, who fucking gives a fuck?
Exactly, man. Yeah. Free booze. Take that anything. I used to work in the pub industry over here for about 10 years. I was like, now just going back like about a decade, but we used to get tickets to these kind of industry nights. So say if they were launching like a new beer or a new type of spirit, they bring like bar staff and kind of management from all different kind of pubs within the area, bring you into a pub in town, all free food, free beers, just go crazy. You know, they used to start off would be like, you get 4 tokens for 4 free beers and then keep throwing them at you then for the rest of the night. So just get absolutely like shit-faced and
you need to come to the United States, man, because with your accent, you would pick up the pussy.
I don't think my missus will like to hear that. But
okay, so you need to come to the United States because with that accent, they'll give you free booze and we'll make sure you go into trouble.
We'll use Take 2.
They'll buy you Ubers, you know?
Sold. Can't wait to get my free Ubers.
I'm a buzzed cow. What do you want?
So what are you doing now tonight? Are you heading out to a bar after this, or?
No, the bars are still kind of fucked around here, but there may be a few people coming over. I invited a few people over. We'll see if they show up. Like one guy was like, I might, but I'm going hunting, so probably not. And then somebody else was like, yeah, I got to work tonight, but you know, if I get off. So if not, I got JMO and like fucking 60 fucking beers to kill, and I will gladly do it.
Yeah. One way or another, sounds like you're in for it. Yeah.
Because I think last time you were here, like we drank like 70 beers.
Yeah, just about that, and a bottle and Sailor Jerry's.
Yeah. I mean,
can we call a spirit a cunt a couple of times? That was pretty cool.
Can you tell the graveyard?
My first experience.
Yeah. So this is fucking gnarly.
Okay.
So I've never been able to see ghosts and stuff like that before. I don't know what you believe about that, but a couple months, I went to a graveyard. This is going to be a shock with my boyfriend and their best friend. And I've never been able to feel spirits and stuff like that before. Yeah. But all of a sudden, we pull in, and I say to Carter, I was like, hey, Gabby's coming up on your side. Don't be scared. Because I saw in my mirror, I saw a full-figured body walking up. And then I get out of the car, and Gabby's standing right next to me.
No way.
So, yeah. So then we go up this hill, and the entire time, I just feel like we're being watched. You know, like people don't want us there. And we get up there, and I start seeing like shadow figures moving. Like I saw a full-figured silhouette.
Look that.
And it's like I've never felt this stuff before. All of a sudden, I felt like just completely like it was like damp, like a moisture feeling. Like I could feel everybody not wanting us to be there and all this stuff. And I mean, I felt like as we're leaving, like there was like 6 or 7 people escorting us out of the place. It was absolutely just weird because I've never seen or felt stuff like that before.
Yeah, that sounds crazy. And what about your
time I was here? I could feel something like right in the area where we're sitting, and we were drunk. And he starts screaming like, "Hey, you bitch, you fucking cunt!" And he stands up and starts screaming at it. And we literally saw a figure from like right where I'm pointing. You can't see. Well, we saw a figure stand up and move about 3 steps and disappear.
Fucking hell, man! No way. That's
because here's the thing about that shit is a lot of that stuff. Like there's like a whole plethora of shit like on those fucking frequencies. However, most of them, like, you know, they don't eat or drink. You know, they don't have like food. What they do for their energy is like they suck it off of you, and a lot of that, it has to be a certain type of energy. So like they can only eat like say fear and anger is like poison to them. So it's like, oh my God, I'm scared. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, you be scared. But like if you say, hey, listen, you fucking bitch, you're in my fucking house.
Right.
Oh,
unfuck yourself.
You'll find this funny. Me and Carter, we went to a cemetery last week.
You dumb fuck.
He likes it. I like being with him, so whatever. So
didn't learn your lesson the first time.
Like there's apps that double as like spirit boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we kiss with the app open, and all we hear is gay. Word of God. Like, hey, you guys need to calm the fuck down, all right?
Yeah.
Swear to God, I'll take all these American flags up and put rainbow flags down. You fucking.
I went to a cemetery close to where I live, and the spirit box. All I heard was "Ha, Afghanistan."
Really?
Yeah,
That's fucking creepy.
No,
Yep.
way. No, sorry, I'm not following this. What spirit box? Is it?
it's spirit box. They cover all frequencies. They go from the lowest frequency to the top, and like people trying to speak through the veil, they'll it picks it up, and sometimes you can have whole ass conversations and stuff.
No way.
Yeah. Like my buddy Johnny, he lost his wife a couple years ago.
Well, that sucks.
And we heard one night at a cemetery, "Ha, your wife." And then another voice came over and said, "Oh, sorry."
Hey, I'm sorry about
Jeez.
Jeff. He's kind of a dick. That's why he's dead. Turns out he said that exact same. It wasn't pointed towards you. It's muscle memory. He said the exact same thing in a bar in 1847, and then got stabbed to death before they had a horse mutilate the corpse.
Oh,
Man, yeah, that sounds crazy. Like, you know, to be honest, like when it comes to that type of stuff, I'd be open minded. I don't really kind of believe in kind of ghosts, but like I suppose I'd be open to kind of ideas of it. You know, I had one kind of weird incident once that I've kind of like the logical part of me tried to chalk it up to the fact that like I was like 16 or 17. I drank a load of beers. I smoked a couple of J's with my friends, and it was coming up to Halloween. But like at the same time, I can still vividly remember what I saw, and I've also drank loads of beers in the past, and I've like smoked J's in the past, and it's never kind of made me see anything, you know. Like I think we were smoking weed back then, and it was like that's not a hallucinogen, you know. Doesn't make you see stuff, but I vividly remember an incident where me and one of my mates, we were walking over this pedestrian bridge. We're going off to just buy cigarettes at a local shop, but as we're kind of walking down towards the very bottom of the bridge, I saw about 5 or 6 kind of people. Because it was dark, it just looked like silhouettes. So I turned to my mate because we were kind of into heavy metal at the time, and people around here didn't really like that. So from time to time, you get into scuffles, you know. But I said to my mate, "There's like 5 lads down there," and he's like, "Oh yeah, I see them. Don't worry about that. Come on." So we walk as we're walking down the bridge, disappeared, like nothing to be seen anywhere. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm losing my mind here. So maybe trick of the light, or, you know, maybe I have smoked a little bit more or whatever, you know. But went over to the shops, walked back. As we're walking to go back up the bridge, heard this weird kind of clicking sound, which the first thing I thought was it reminded me like, you know, an old school 1800s carriage, you know, the click of the wheels.
Yeah.
Turned to my mate, said, do you hear that? And he kind of looked at me and it was like, you know, he's like, "Yeah, I hear that." I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna like have a quick look. We'll see what the story is." So I turn around, and I swear to God, to this day, it's burned into my memory. I kind of saw like a person walking right towards me, but it was like from here down, like didn't exist. So it was like this shoulder, arm, torso, like a quarter of the torso, and legs, kind of just walking really rapidly right towards me. I was like, "Dude, out of here, run!" I mean, I just didn't stop till it was like halfway home, you know. And again, like there could be a logical explanation. You know, I was clearly like under the influence, but I don't know, you know, so I'd be open-minded to it.
Yeah, no, what is it? Like, I just got back from my 3rd deployment, and they put me in a new barracks when I came back, and I was in room 316. I remember that vividly for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
But I woke up in the middle of the night, right? And I look across my room, and, you know, I'm in the barracks, so, like, my room's, like, you know, 10 feet by 10 feet, like, you know, prison cell with whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But I wake up, and there's this thing standing there, and it had these, like, cream-colored fucking robes, and it had, like, this, like, dead green skin, like, no ears or nose,
Jesus.
like, mouthful of shark teeth, and then right next to it was, like, me standing next to it, and, like, I was watching me talk to it, but what was weird was I felt abso-the-fuck-alutely at peace with the fucking universe. Right. And I remember asking it who it was, and I remember it told me, but I don't remember what it said. But I asked where it came from, and it said, well, not here. And the way it said not here implied like not fucking anything that you can associate with the word here. At the fuck off. Not there. And I was like,
Jeez.
well, what do you want? And it said, well, you know, I'm just checking shit out. And then it stopped talking to me over there, looked at me and said, "Hey, wake up." And then I woke up, and this like wave of this dread and fear fucking came over me. And then all my lights turned on, and my window and my door slammed open.
That's insane, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then
You-
I crashed on a buddy's couch the rest of the time I was at that duty station.
So did you put that in the books, didn't you, at one point, or something similar to it? Wasn't it like
fucking art reflects life or
yeah?
Whatever.
Because that's crazy. Like, Jesus, that's weird. And like, was that kind of barracks haunted or anything? Was there any kind of backstory to it, or
no, brand new barracks?
Yeah,
like they
weird.
had built it while I was on deployment.
Yeah, that's freaky, man. And did you ever have any dreams like that after?
About
did
that,
you ever see
no.
that character? No.
But like when I went to go empty out that room, like it just felt like there was something like it felt like there was a bear an inch behind me. Like the entire time I was like, I'm just gonna get like the 5 fucking things I have, put the shit in my Jeep, and fuck off because I'm not dealing with this shit.
Jeez, yeah.
I'm still a skeptic, but it's like this feeling you get is like it's like a weight, but it's also like kind of wet.
And you also get a little bit of electricity.
Yeah, it just kind of like zaps everything.
It's kind of like when you put your tongue on a 9-volt battery, but like your whole shit. It's not like you're getting, but like just enough to be like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's madly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's still like, am I feeling this because I know I'm in a cemetery, or like, I know this place is haunted. Am I just making this up, or is it real?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky. I remember hearing about it. They say like it. I think a lot of it depends on your mindset. So if you're the type of person who's open to kind of those types of experiences, even if you're not fully aware of it, could be a subconscious thing, but you're more kind of like inclined or more likely to kind of see something like that or interpret, different events in that type of way. So I think like I remember again, I read somewhere they were talking about like hauntings, people being like haunted by different spirits and stuff, and it said if you basically close off your mind, they can't be attracted to you or they can't kind of connect it to you. So if you basically say to yourself, I'm not ready for this, it's like it creates a wall against that type of stuff, No,
I can't do that though, because like I don't necessarily believe like the Bible's correct about everything. I think there's a lot of fucking shit wrong with it, but I still do believe in that God. And in that, for lack of a better word, like ethos or mythology or whatever, that shit exists. So it's like I can't not believe in that kind of shit because it is in my religious preference or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, it's kind of built into us, and like that when you kind of look at the Bible, that's probably a collection of different stories from different kind of authors, dating back or kind of, I suppose, explaining the world according to their kind of worldview. Like that was one of the things. I remember kind of reading up on Islam a little bit, and their paradise. It's like some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like an oasis in the desert.
Yeah.
But that kind of reflects because the original kind of founders of the religion would have come from that whole area. So that would be their epitome of kind of like paradise or heaven or whatever, So I do think where you are kind of does kind of shift your kind of, I suppose, the things you believe in religiously.
Yeah. And then one of the things I think is funny about it too is like that stuff like exists in Christianity, but it's nowhere near as much as it is in both Islam and Judaism. Like, because both of those other religions are very heavy into the fucking spirit realm, and like Christianity kind of pushed it away. But it's like, nah, this is still the same like book series. Like, we have to go with the same like ethos or mythology for this canon. So like, it all ties together, bro.
Yeah, just the way it is.
No, and then one of my other things was like this fucking week I posted a thing about on fucking Facebook before that got fucking nuked. But what is it? The Pope earlier this week said atheists can go to heaven. So it's like, yeah, check that, mate, atheists. Guess what, fuckers?
Yeah, I seen that actually. Yeah, that was very good. I mean that made headlines like throughout the world.
Yeah. He also said that homosexuals should be able to marry and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was like I think he was supporting. What was it? What's the word for the civil union or something like?
Civil union, yeah.
Although like he said it in like Latin, so I'm sure there's I don't know if that's exactly.
He called a demon to Earth. It's a gay demon. It's cool, Hey.
Well, I don't know, man. Like Jesus loves me, and he's a dude. Like he also had 2 dads, so like I mean, like I'm not judging anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, there was actually something I wanted to ask. Obviously, like everyone's, or pretty much everyone I know, or in the world in general, has watched like American Horror Story. But have you got any kind of like horror stories from your specific areas or places you grew up? Or I mean, I know you've kind of touched on the cemetery type of stuff, but like where you are right now in Pennsylvania, is there any kind of like mad horror stories or anything?
There's like this area because there's woods everywhere. There's legends of Bigfoot, stuff like that. But like in Erie, where I come from, Erie's kind of a shit town all the way around. It's very well. I feel kind of stupid saying this. It's very old because the area's been inhabited since like 1750.
Yeah,
I know that's kind of dumb for you coming from Ireland, but you know,
1750, like we were already in our middle.
by that. Let's go. But like we have the story of Mad Anthony Wayne, who was he was a Revolutionary War officer, but he came to Erie. I can't remember the particulars, but like he got shot in the leg and had to lose the leg. And then once he died, his son boiled him because his remains in two different places. So they removed the skin and meat from bone, and then they buried the bone in one place. So like they say his ghost wanders Erie looking for his leg and stuff like that.
Jeez.
And then we have Axe Murder Hollow, where a jealous farmer killed his wife and boyfriend with an axe, and that area is pretty haunted.
No way. That's crazy.
Huh?
Pizza.
Oh, have you watched on Netflix Evil Genius?
No, I don't think I've heard about it. What's it about?
So it's about my hometown. Basically,
and when he says his hometown, like when I would first go up to visit him back when he was at his old place, it was like 3 blocks that way.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, this pizza delivery guy who was very autistic, he got kidnapped, and they put a collar around his neck, and it was a bomb. Jesus. And they told him to rob a bank. Yeah. And he got away from the bank, and then the cops surrounded him. And the cops were pretty shitty with it. Like, they didn't really examine him. He's saying, hey, get it off. It's beeping. And then he blew up in a very public place here in Erie.
No way.
Yeah, it's on video. They recorded the whole thing. And it's just turned into this, like, murder mystery. Like, nobody knows who actually done it or the whole story. And this was in 2002. So, like, very, very widely unsolved. I definitely recommend if you have Netflix, Evil Genius, you'll enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm going to check the hell out of that, man. That sounds absolutely crazy, you know? I mean, fair play to Netflix there. They're really coming up with like great stuff nowadays, like that Tiger King. The one pretty much everyone in the world gonna watch at the same time.
Okay, so I was mad at Tiger King when it came out because Joe Exotic's music wasn't on iTunes, but I checked it last week, and Joe Exotic's music is now on iTunes.
No way.
Also, I'm sending him my books in prison fucking this week.
That's cool. He's still in prison now, is he? Was there not talk about him?
His fucking life.
Was Trump not going to give him a pardon though?
I guess not.
I actually, Trump doesn't get reelected, I would do the pardons are going to be insane in January. Like, everybody's going to be out of jail.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, fucking, what is it? So what is it? Joe Exotic's, who is it? His, like, campaign manager for when he was running for governor. Apparently, was, like, super, like, fuck this guy. He belongs in jail. Like, he's the worst human being on the planet.
No, this dude was in a libertarian group that me and Tripp are a part of. And someone's like, if Joe Jorgensen gets elected, she needs to pardon this guy. This campaign manager is like, no, that fucker deserves to be in jail. He needs to be left there as the campaign manager. And it was just insane.
No, and like my viewpoint on that's like, listen, I understand that, buddy, but 2020 is already fucked us pretty hard. And you know, at this point,
Sean Connery today.
I'm just in for the fucking shenanigans at this point. So let that motherfucker loose and give him an indefinite immunity for everything he does for the rest of his life, just because. Fuck it.
Right. No, I think
Right.
Trump's going to do that 100%. Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what's the general vibe over there? Like, do you reckon he's going to win the election, or like,
It is.
what's
At
the
this
consensus?
point, it's going to be so fucking close. Like, there's so far with the early polling, Biden's ahead, but that's really because all the leftists and the liberals and the Democrats, they're voting because they fear COVID. But the Republicans
We're all going to vote in person on the day.
They're going to vote in person on Monday, and that's going to be the only votes counted, I think.
Yeah, no, and the other thing too, though, is like, what is it in 2016? Like, they were predicting that Hillary Clinton was going to win by a fucking landslide, and then
I remember that.
didn't happen. So every time I see some news stories like Joe Biden is going to win, I'm like, you remember when you guys said that 4 years ago? Because I do. Apparently, nobody learned fucking shit, and no matter what happens, good or bad, you know what? We fucking deserve it.
Yeah, it's definitely been a roller coaster, to say the least.
Yeah,
like, you know,
you know, when you were a kid and you did something bad and like your parents were about to beat your ass and you're like, yeah, all right, I know. Yeah, nope, that one's on me.
Yeah.
But it's a community thing. It's like, it's on us. Like, we done fucked up.
Oh, no. I like this whole two-party system. Like, that's what's given us what we have. I mean, it's been downhill since Clinton and then Bush and then Obama.
I don't know, man. Reagan was pretty shit, but
Reagan was shit too, yeah. Who would have thought an actor couldn't be president?
Yeah. And to be honest, I would have liked to see Arnold Schwarzenegger go for it. I know there's a lot because he wasn't actually born in America, he couldn't do it. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't even think like if like your parents work for the State Department and like work in an embassy and you're born like in a hospital overseas, I don't think you're allowed to be president.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is more American than most Americans.
Yeah,
Like,
because
that's
decided, like, I was born an American and God bless me, but at the same time,
Schwarzenegger 2024, let's go.
Yeah, if there's any way you can make that happen.
Yeah, that this motherfucker decided to be an American.
Yeah.
And then he cheated on his wife. What's more American than that?
Yeah. After he married a fucking Kennedy. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Schwarzenegger. I don't know if you guys ever heard this story or not, but they had mandatory conscription in Austria, right? So when he was like 19 and 20, he was in the Austrian army and he was a tanker. And he's got this story, you can find it somewhere, but it was talking about how they went to drag race their fucking tanks because fuck it, why not?
Yeah,
and
why
the
not?
platoon sergeant comes out of their tent and goes, where the fuck are my tanks at? And then like, Schwarzenegger and Schmidt are doing this and that. He's like, all right, cool. So go park these tanks and mud up to the fucking turret. And what you're going to do is you're going to get down inside, you're going to open the emergency hatch, and you're going to dig yourself out from under the tank up to the top. Say, all right, cool. You got out. Get back in the tank, come out. Get back in the tank, come out. Get back in the tank, come out. He's like, so I got hit. So he's like, yeah, so I got hazed for like 6 hours. Never did that again.
That's crazy. Yeah, he has that tank over in America now, doesn't he? I heard like he takes school kids on rides in it and stuff like.
Yeah, he bought the tank that happened in while he was in the Austrian army.
Oh, it's the same tank.
He had as a fucking private. He brought it, shipped it over to the United States, and now like uses it for fucking charity and blowing shit up in the backyard. But you know his backyard is like 50 miles. So
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah,
oh,
the Austrian.
Yeah. I think his father was a Nazi or something as well, wasn't he?
I think his dad was like, I don't know if he was in the party, but I do know that he was like in the Austrian police, like guys that were ran by the Gestapo.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna be a buzzkill, but I gotta break the seal.
All right, you do that,
I'll
man.
be right back.
We'll fucking do that. We'll be back. But while you're doing that, fucking yeah. The other thing though too is since we're talking about Schwarzenegger, like I like to like share your post and say, you know, get your ass to Mars because Total Recall was like one of the fucking greatest movies ever fucking made.
Oh god, yeah, it's so good. So good.
And I think we have that connection there because, you know, Big Red takes place on Mars, Chain Smoking Problems Away takes place on Mars, Total Recall takes place on Mars. Also, my dog fucking hates Dan. I don't know if you can hear that or not.
We can just about, yeah.
Like just like like fucking she was upstairs. And then Dan was down here because there's a door in the basement. She comes down, sees him, and then just shits on the fucking carpet and then like runs upstairs. And it's like, dude, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, she loves almost everybody besides him and like Janine.
Right. And then, like, did he do something to it, or did he like accidentally kick it, or something, or?
No, I think
over?
that you just fucking. I think he has a case of "I hate your face" syndrome.
Okay.
You know, there's some people they don't do anything wrong to you. Like fucking,
Yep.
they can be nice. They can fucking give you shit. They can do stuff for you. They can be your best friend. But
Yep.
I hate their face.
Yeah,
And I think
pathological.
that's
Yeah.
what's going on with my chow chow.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
I meant to ask as well. I know you're probably get hit with this like every time you do a podcast, but how's the writing coming along? Like I remember last time you were like halfway through book 8, wasn't it? Are you still working on it, or?
This is book 8.
No way! Oh,
I'm in on it. I think I'm about I'm this much through it. I'm not sure how much of the percentage this is the book. Did my wife make us beanie weenies?
Yes.
Oh my
God, yes. She almost fell over laughing.
She gave us some wieners.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Enjoy.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, no, fucking. So I'm on it. Fucking and I have like book 9 like mapped out. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I just have to have fucking time to sit down and fucking do it because like I got school going on, and then like I'm trying to like do like art shit on the side, and then like I'm also trying to like find a job to like because like school's pissing me off.
By the way, not to suck your dick, but your art game has been fucking fire lately. It's
Thank
been
you.
great.
Do you know why that is? It's because they've taught me absolutely nothing at school. Like there's nothing that I've learned at college art-wise that I didn't already know. And like as an act of defiance, like I'm like, all right, listen, so I've known how to do this for like 15 years. Let's put this into practice right now just to say, fuck you, school. Like I know you can't see it, but that thing, I fucking drew that fucking like 5 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
So and that's the Midna painting. If you ever played Legend of Zelda, it's Midna, but she's like naked and like hanging out like in Egypt with like all her fucking like royal shit.
Oh, I think I've seen it before. Yeah.
So
that's no, that's cool. And what story is it? Like is it just because it's locked in that you're not getting much value out of college, or are they?
Oh, yeah, no, it's all moved online. And it bothers me because like it's not all moved online. And it was supposed to be kind of like optional. Like you can either show up to class or you can come in on Zoom. And then like all my professors minus one have been like, yeah, we're just gonna do this on Zoom now because I don't feel like putting on fucking pants in the fucking morning. But I have I have 2 hours of like German fucking 3 times a fucking week, and it's by far more than anything else I'm fucking doing in school, and it's the only thing that I'm actually showing up to do school for. So it's like, all right, so I'm in a visual arts fucking major, and the only thing I'm doing is learning this fucking dirty kraut language. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
He said as he wore his Imperial German helmet while he had his Mauser to his side and his like weird skeleton fucking ashtray is sitting on a copy of Mein Kampf.
Yeah, it's good setup, man. Good setup.
Yeah.
Oh,
Also, do you like my ashtray? I haven't been using it as an ashtray, but it's a nice ashtray.
Yeah. It's very eye catching.
I'm gonna fucking eat all of these.
Well, save me like 2, man. Like,
I'm a fat cow.
yeah, I am too, but like metaphorically.
Hey-o.
Yeah, no, but since we're on that, how's Blood Red Sands coming? Which is the
Yeah, it's
Big Red, Big Red's a book that you should totally read about not UN space marines, not on Mars, not fighting aliens and or Nazis.
what Tripp said.
Your quotations there.
Yeah, no, it's going well. Like
all at once.
yeah. No, it's coming along nicely. Have the latest batch of edits back from my publisher there, like so, just kind of finishing them off. But slowly but surely, it's starting to take shape. You know?
Oh, nice. So you're at like 75-80ish%.
I'd say about that. Yeah, it'll probably another maybe 2 or 3 rounds after this. They won't be as intense as like the first one, but yeah, it's more kind of like tightening up little bits and pieces here and kind of like fixing plot holes or expanding on certain bits and pieces. So yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Got a good comment there.
Oh, what's that? Nice helmet, Tripp. Happy Halloween, all of you. Damien, where is your big red costume, lad?
Yeah, I don't have the costume now. To be honest, I have like a couple of masks downstairs, but yeah, I literally completely forgot. I remember the whiskey, which is the most important thing. So,
is that a Pantera shirt? Yeah.
Oh, it is. Yeah, Pantera, fucking deadly. Favorite band. Absolutely love them. Great crack. We're supposed to actually see them in live in 2001 on the 13th of September 2001, and then obviously 2 days before that, like everything happened and they pulled out, and then they were broken up like 9 months later. So yeah, it's really, really shit. And then obviously Dimebag got shot, like, which is fucking horrible. So yeah,
I had tickets to that show, but because it was a school night, my mom didn't let me go.
Was that in Erie?
Right.
No, it was about 3 hours from Erie.
Oh.
Me and my friend were gonna go, and then it was like, oh no, you can't go. That's a school night. We woke up the next morning. We're like, oh, thank God we didn't go.
Yeah, no, you should have fucking went because like he wasn't trying to shoot the audience.
Well, yeah, but can you imagine the therapy sessions and the PTSD?
You say that like that's not happening anyway, Dan. Like fucking just put it on the fucking pile. Listen, you only have 800 pounds of shit in your fucking two-ton. You can deal with a little more trauma.
Yeah,
right?
that's
especially if it comes with a cool story.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry for not being sensitive to post-traumatic stress disorder, and I don't know the suicide hotline, so I can't spout that off right now. But
you're a fucking dog.
No, but one of the other things, speaking of the thing, actually, there's two things I want to go on with this. Remind me of the trouble, but like one of the things I think is like hilarious. Obviously, fucking like not really funny to laugh about, but at the same time, it's like, well, come on, I'm gonna laugh about it a little bit. So, Slayer had an album called "God Hates Us All," right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
and "God Hates Us All." I'm sorry, and that album came out on September 11th, 2001, and record stores open a lot of the times at 7 o'clock in the morning. So I know there was one motherfucker at least walking through Manhattan with this album called "God Hates Us All." He goes, "Man, I wonder what this album's about."
Yes, this album is great.
That.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Fire!
Yeah, that must have been absolutely crazy.
No, but
Was that the album that have the song Jihad on it? The one where Tom Arroyo? Yeah, it's from the point of view of the suicide bombers or something like. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, but the other thing too that like I think it's also like kind of funny, but like also like the most and forgive me for grouping you in with these people, but the most British thing that could ever fucking happen is like you guys had this like really fucked up bloody civil war for like 30 fucking years, and you just refer to it as no, it was the Troubles. It was like the Troubles. Like, yeah, no, we just had a little bit of trouble. It's fine. It's like.
Yeah, it's just the Irish kind of thing.
Just shrug it off as trouble. Okay,
like
that's like very polite.
France's revolution was like 30 fucking revolutions.
Yeah,
because like as soon as they're like off with his head, and somebody's like, no, off with his head, and everybody just killed everybody.
Oh, off with my head, off with your head, and the crowd's like, yeah, let's just do.
You're a witch.
It's funny that the euphemisms that people use with shit is like, all right, so we don't want to scare kids. Let's think of a nice word to say this, like instead of horrific bloodbath that killed fucking 5% of the human population, we're just gonna call it World War II.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Over here in Ireland, we were a neutral country during World War II for a lot of reasons on that, but we refer to it as the emergency. So the entire Second World War is called the emergency.
Yeah. No, we had an emergency, but
it's okay now. It's grand.
The toddler had a poop, but it's okay. We got it taken care of. We just watched a documentary on Canadian snipers, the Black Watch. Ooh. History Channel. It's on YouTube. Just Black Watch Snipers.
Also, real quick, I have to give fucking credit to the History Channel because they put all their old like 90s fucking documentaries just for free on fucking YouTube, and they're all fucking everything you remember they were just fucking being amazing with like
check that out.
Before aliens.
Yeah, and this
So like this if it's like a movie, but it also has interviews with all the people that served in the Black Watch sniper platoon. And it has like all four of them. And it just kind of shows like what they did. And then at the end, they shown a reunion between all of them. And then they take them out to the rifle range to shoot their old rifles again. And it's just outstanding. It's awesome.
Yeah, like
That's really cool.
because they also took like letters and diaries and like had these dudes sit down and they reenacted everything they were saying. I felt really bad for this one dude because it was like D-Day plus fucking 4. He got shot in the leg, and then they like took him back, and there's like, all right, well, you've been back for like 2 weeks, so you can go back on the line. And then like he got shot in the lung like a month after that. They're like, all right, so you got shot in the lung, but like you're good now. And then the dude gets shot in the spine and in the back of the fucking head. And then like he's like dying on the ground, and like his buddy's like, I don't know what to do. Medic, come help us. And the medic's like, yeah, dude, no, he's dead. So like his buddy is like, hey, if you know what's good for you, you're gonna take care of my fucking buddy. And then he gets taken off the line, and then comes back like 3 weeks later. Like that's back when like men were fucking men. Like
Yeah,
I know that I like to talk a lot of shit, but like I ain't that fucking tough.
Well, like, have you watched The Pacific in an HBO miniseries?
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. Now I prefer like Band of
When they're
Brothers.
on Peleliu with Eugene Sledge and his captain like stops the tank, and they're like, no, you're going to take our wounded, and you're going to go wherever the fuck you're going to go.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, they got the job done at the end of the day, like even by doing stuff like that. Like, so I mean, fair balls. I mean, you're looking at like Band of Brothers, like it's insane. You know, some of the stuff they did. Remember that, like the first episode when they're kind of like parachuting into France, they're getting all sorts of anti-aircraft fire, and you're seeing like planes explode and people in planes getting shot to bits and stuff like that. That's absolutely crazy, like, you know.
Yeah, that,
I mean,
that rolls back to the thing where it's like, dude, I like to think that I'm tough and talk a lot of shit, but fuck doing that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even you see, the interviews with the actual lads, like, obviously they're a lot older and stuff like that, and they're just like, they're talking with the airborne infantry, and I was like, okay, yeah, jump out of planes, all right, that's grand, $50 extra a month, yeah, okay, why not?
Yeah,
it's just like, Jesus.
Like, I guess maybe it's just because it's been so long ago for them, they've had to process it. It's like, yeah, my buddy Jim, he fucking got killed, starts crying a little bit. And he's like, yeah. So then anyway, after that, we like went into this fucking village and like beat 500 people to death with our bare hands. And oh man, let me tell you about this, right?
I was like watching the Pacific because only like 3 of those guys are alive nowadays.
I think they're all dead now because
they're dead now.
Oh,
well, like Sledge died in 2001, but like Bergen, Sidney Phillips. And one Chad Tatum, the guy that served Chuck Tatum, the guy that served with John Barcelona, they're the only 3 left alive to tell the story of the Pacific.
Jeez. Yeah. And
which, first and foremost, that's such a fucking tragedy. We don't know enough about that war from these guys.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Just because I do a history podcast called What in the History,
which you should totally check out. It's
really good. I love kind of history stuff. What's the name of? Sorry, I missed that.
What in the History.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to check that out. Yeah, that's deadly.
So our last episode was on Al Capone.
Right.
It's me and a fellow comedian friend, Johnny Smith. Like, Johnny has no idea about the subjects, and I do all the research, so I kind of teach.
Yeah, so he's no clue what the subject matter is.
Right.
It's a fun dynamic too, because like you'll be saying this, that, or whatever, and then Johnny be like, "Dude, what? That's not right." And then he'd be like, "Nah, dude, check this shit out." And then like it's kind of like you get some banter with it.
Yeah, like so November we have Veterans Day here in America, nice. And so for November I'm doing nothing but military appreciation. Like Sunday we're recording the Korean War, and then we're going to cover John Barcelona and Audie Murphy, which both won the Congressional Medal of Honor.
More or less because they were too stubborn to fucking die.
Like John Barcelona killed almost
like 700 fucking people.
It's anywhere between 600 to 1,000 Japanese in one night.
Jesus, one night.
Yeah, so
and picked up the machine gun with his bare fucking hands.
Yeah,
got 3rd-degree burns and just fucking. He killed so many Japanese that he had to leave his gun position, move bodies off the pile so he could shoot more Japanese.
Yeah, like I think his position, like everyone got wiped out besides like 5 dudes. So like the whole company's dead, and then like this dude does shit that would make Rambo fucking piss his pants.
Right.
That's crazy.
They cover him in the like episode 2 of the Pacific. The guy that they showed that picked up the machine gun with his bare hands killed everybody. That's John Baslone.
Except for in real life, that was like 18 hours and
Oh,
instead of, like,
yeah.
5 minutes.
And then Audie Murphy, he was the most decorated military member of World War II. His chest is like this with medals. His Medal of Honor moment was a burned out tank, and he took the 50 cal and he manned it for like 6 hours.
No, you're missing the most important part though. Is like Audie Murphy. He was kind of like this little timid, like little dude. Like none of the Marine Corps wouldn't take him because he wasn't big enough. He was like 5'4" or some shit. Like just like little homeboy from like back in the woods. He's like going through France all scared, and then like someone like killed his best friend, and then like the skies went dark, his eyes turned red, and then he started killing tanks with a machine gun. It's like, you're not supposed to be able to kill tanks with a machine gun. He's like, and then he's like, I don't care, God. I'm doing me right now.
Jesus, that guy sounds great. Like I recognize the name Audie Murphy, Yeah.
So he
and again
came back from the war and started making movies.
Became an
about
actor.
And he made movies about the shit he did.
Starred in over 40 movies.
And it was funny because he would make movies about what he did in Europe, and then they would like tone down the movies because the producer like, no one's gonna believe this shit actually fucking happened. I don't care if you actually did it, but like if we tell people this happened, they're gonna be like, bullshit, didn't happen. They're gonna dismiss us. So let's make this less intense.
Cody says 7th Regiment, homie.
Hey, fucking 2-7, motherfucker.
Chesty Puller. Yeah. You don't know, but 7th Marine Regiment's the one that John Baslone served in. We have a war hero in the Marine Corps, a god, Chesty Puller. He got 5 Navy Crosses, which is the second highest honor in our military.
Jeez, fair balls. And was that World War II as well, or Vietnam, or?
No, he was we had
World War I and Korea.
No, it was World War I, and then like we had like 14 fucking wars in South America between World War I and World War II. So it was World War I, all those fucking other wars in South America, and then World War II, and then Korea. And then this guy retired when he was like 70, and then Vietnam kicked off. He's like, let me back in. I'm going to show them commies what to do. They're like, nah, dude, you're too old. Fuck you.
His son died in Vietnam. And he said that was the saddest moment of his entire life. And he died shortly after that, which is just, to me, because my father's a piece of shit. This is a emotional hour with Dan. Fuck him. He missed out on this great cow.
Absolutely.
So, like, he said that was the worst moment in his entire life. He's lost thousands of soldiers, but when his son died in Vietnam.
Marines,
sorry.
Marines.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm going to be a stickler about that one.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree, too. It's just have a little bit of the drinky.
Yeah.
And, he said that was the worst loss in his entire life. And that's just like this guy that was known as a badass. Apparently, he reaped that wheat at his son's bedside. And it was like jotted down in history.
Yeah, no, there's stories of this dude where like we don't know if they actually happen or not because like people like to embellish, but there's a lot of shit
Chuck
that like
Norris stories.
Yeah, right. But like the two that come up to me the most was like in Korea. I don't remember if it was at Chosen or not, but they were surrounded, and like his first quote was, or his first thing he said was like, "Oh, good, now they can't get away." Like those poor bastards, they have nowhere to run. We can shoot in any direction, but they didn't know.
It's one way of looking at it.
Yeah, they didn't know where the enemy was, so he stands up and like lights his fucking pipe. His pipe gets shot out of his hand. He goes, "They're right there," and then obviously Marines fucking light up all hell.
Yeah,
but it was also a lot of peacetime shit where like he was just badassery for. Because there was one time, once again, we don't know if this happened or not, but it's part of the legendary, where he comes up and there's a lieutenant and a private, and this private just keeps saluting this lieutenant over and over again. And she's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And the lieutenant's like, "Well, this private didn't salute me, so I'm making him salute me 100 times because, he didn't salute me, so I'm going to make him salute him." And Chesty like, "You know what? You're right to do that. However, when someone salutes you, you're supposed to salute them back." So he had this private salute the lieutenant had to salute him back the whole fucking time. So they're both out there for an hour, just like, and I just know that lieutenant was like, dude, I should have just fucking let this go. God damn it.
Do you
Lieutenant
know about God King General Mattis?
A little bit. I know a little bit about him. Like I know he's was he in one of the administrations or something?
Yeah, so he was
Yeah.
our Secretary of Defense for a while before like Trump fucked that up. Which
Mad
once again,
dog, isn't it?
you want about Donald Trump, but he fired he pissed off fucking James Mattis, and that puts him on my bad side. But yeah, he was also the reason that the initial invasion of Iraq took 2 weeks instead of 6 months.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember kind of hearing about that, like when they first went into Iraq. Yeah.
There's this one story. I
Yeah.
think Mattis was the general of Quantico, the base commander. And it was like December 24th. And we have what's called officers of the day and stuff, and they stand post and stuff.
Barracks watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this was a second lieutenant with his wife, and they have a newborn child. And Mattis actually came into the post, said, "Hey, I'll take your watch." I think he was a
major general.
Major general at the time, and said, "I'll take your watch. Go spend your first Christmas with your child and your family."
Yeah,
no way. That's pretty cool.
This sergeant comes into the fucking barracks, and he finds the private who's supposed to be who's like the assistant duty. He's like, "All right, hey, so whatever." And the one of the things you do is like, "Hey, whatever my rank is, whoever reporting this building, all safe and secure, nothing to issue at the fucking time." And the sergeant's like, "All right, who's your main duty?" And he goes, "Major General Mattis." And he goes, "All right, stop fucking with me. Like, who's your duty?" And then like Mattis comes out of the fucking bathroom and he goes, "Hey there, Sergeant, how you doing?" And he's like, "Oh fuck, why is there a Major General in the fucking barracks right now?"
Yeah, that's insane. Like, fair play to him. That's it's a good move.
Yeah, fucking Santa Claus.
Yeah. Warrior monk.
Yeah.
Fair play. And like, what's he doing nowadays? Is he still like in politics or?
No, he got it. I think he's working as a consultant for like Northrop Grumman or like Lockheed or something.
I know he just retired and he's like, yes, I don't have to wear this shit anymore.
Dude, no, it's weird though, because you've ever watched an interview with him. He's like from the Pacific Northwest, and he's from a place that has a really dopey accent. So when you listen to him, he kind of sounds like if he was just like asking you for like milk or giving you like an order at like a restaurant, or just like talking to you about like what TV show you're watching, you'd chalk him up as a fucking idiot because he's like, "Oh, yep. So we were out there and we got our cheeseburgers and we watched this show and we had a good time." And it's funny because like this dude's like one of the most quotable motherfuckers on the planet. So like you never like hear these quotes, you only like see them in words, but it's like kind of hard to imagine. Yep. So I didn't come here with artillery, and I came here with peace, with tears in my eyes. But if you fuck with me, no, it's like if you fuck with me, what we're gonna do is gonna be remembered by your culture for 10,000 years.
Jesus.
Basically,
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
that guy's that's
weird.
Balls, yeah.
You want to do this history?
Oh yes. Let's get on the Halloween. Let's get on the Halloween.
Yeah,
let's do Halloween.
Bring it on.
So
he's got notes
because I do the history podcast. Yeah, man. Look at I researched the fuck out of this.
Cool.
Because my episodes are heavily detailed.
Yeah.
Because I love history. I'm a history nerd, and I hate podcasts because like
I fucking hate podcasts too. I'm not gonna
lie. I did Emmett Till, and I doubt you know that name. But in America, in the 1955, a 14-year-old black boy was killed in Mississippi because he whistled at a white woman.
Once again, big shocker. Oh, yeah, Mississippi. Yeah. You guys are racist? Oh, I wouldn't have fucking caught that.
Right. So, like, most podcasts on the subject was like 35 to 45 minutes. But me and Johnny recorded almost 3 hours.
Jeez, fair play.
Yeah. So this might be a little detailed heavy, but
also feel free to interject and be like, "Dude, what's this about?"
Okay.
So
get on the conversation.
Halloween origins start with Druids, which is a Celtic priest class. They had 2 fire festivals. And fire is just very heavily celebrated with Halloween throughout history.
Absolutely.
May 1st, they had Valentina. And on November 1st, they had Samhain. It's spelled Samhain. But that sounds like a character from a John Wayne movie. the villain.
Yes, that's what we'd call Halloween in Irish should be Easown. So yeah.
Easown?
Easown, yeah.
Easown.
So, like, in America with pagans and stuff, if you say Sam Hain, you get fucking crucified.
Yeah.
I just saw all this stuff. It's Samhain. Like,
Yeah.
spell it correctly. Like, what the fuck?
Well, let's be fair about this, though. And I'm going to blame the English for this. The English language is fucking terrible, and it's in need of a major fucking overhaul, because it's like, all right, so we're going to spell this word. What's a good word? Oh, Sioux, as in the Lakota Native Americans up in the Montanas. It's spelled Sioux.
Yeah.
Sioux.
Yeah, it's English.
So
it's
every
weird
year,
language.
Yeah,
a sacrifice was made to the gods,
yep,
as ordered by the Irish king. I didn't bother recording the same because I knew I wouldn't be able to pronounce it at this point.
Okay.
It's like guttural,
Yeah.
Started with the T, ended with a.
and there was like no fucking vowels.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
So every year they do sacrifices on October 31st. All the druids would basically set on fire a bunch of cows. What's up? And then
Get
on
'em.
November 1st, they would sacrifice a black sheep to appease the dead. So the dead had something to consume.
Yeah.
So a sacrifice became a thing. Eventually, they'll grow into like candy and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, a black sheep, and the day before is basically barbecue and a lamb dinner.
Yeah, no, but like, I mean, I'd never heard about what they did the day after on November 1st, but yeah, I mean, everything that sounds right to me,
Wait, so do you guys eat like lamb before Halloween? Is that like a
No, not really. To be honest, that's the first time I've ever kind of heard like lamb or kind of sheep like associated with Halloween. But I mean, it does sound like something that we do, like especially the reference to the cows there. Culturally, like the different kind of Celtic kingdoms, you weighed up your power and your money based on how many cows you had. So we've kind of a famous story about like different kingdoms kind of raiding each other's cattle, and if you had like the best cattle. Or the best cow, kind of, you're considered like above everybody else, So it's the Celts were really kind of mad into that. So yeah, that kind of makes sense.
I'm the best cow.
Well, no, I was gonna say is that also translates into fucking like a modern culture, because like we all revere Kanye West because he has the best cow. Her name's Kim.
So fire, like we mentioned earlier, fire is a huge part of Halloween throughout the ages. Like in Wales, it was a tradition for the family to gather around a fire and throw a white stone into the fire. And if in the morning, if one of the stones was missing, whoever threw that stone would die within a year before the next celebration.
Wait, was that you're predicted to die, or like no, we're gonna kill you?
I just think it's a great fucking prank. Hey, fuck you, Uncle Otis. I'm gonna steal your stone, make you think you're gonna die.
Well, you can kind of see the siblings doing that. Like, say if you had like a bunch of siblings.
Thank you. I can't pronounce that name, but thank you. I am.
Yes, Dan is the best. Hey, fucking Damien, in the comments, I don't want to be like culturally insensitive, but how do I pronounce this guy's name? Like this is the Storm Series guy, right?
Oh, Rory DeBarra.
Rory DeBarra. Okay.
No,
right. Rory
DeBarra.
Rory DeBarra. Got it.
Yeah. What's
that
up,
guy is a legend.
Yeah.
I've read some of his stuff. He's absolutely brilliant. I'm really looking forward to him coming out with his book. Yeah. So yeah, keep an eye out for him.
No, dude, it was funny because like me and him were like talking in the fucking DMs before I got my social media got nuked. By the way, fucking follow me at Tripp Ains. Like my social media all got fucking took out yesterday. But I was talking to him the other day. He's like, "Yeah, dude, no, fucking keep it up. I wish I could say more, but I'm still in the thing to where I can't do social media because the Navy's a thing." And I was like, "Dude, no, got it." Rory, you're a fucking rock star.
So I mentioned earlier in Scotland, is tradition for the boys to go house to house and ask for peat or moss to burn the witches.
What is peat?
It's moss. It's like a dry.
Yeah, like what you call it? I can't even think of the word.
It's very dry, and
it's like little bricks of like bog stuff.
None of you guys using Facebook don't have Google, so Google Pete.
Yeah, but we're here now, so like.
It's
people listening to this and be like, "What's Pete?" Google it. No, thanks. I have to leave the podcast. Fucking go Google your fucking bullshit. Oh, by the way, since I'm on Google and I Googled Pete, there's some fucking nice titties here. I'm not coming back.
Pete titties. That's a great Google too, I'm sure. Pete is like it's very small strands, and once it dries out, it's very flammable.
So kindling.
Yes,
kindling.
But it's like grass, but it grows over rocks and stuff like that.
So kindling moss.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So it's kind of like stuff that you get from the bogs, where you kind of like you dig it out, like, and you turn it into bricks and let it dry. It's flammable. It's stuff you basically throw in your fire, you know.
Yeah. I just got to make sure we get through the language barrier, right? Because once again, English does not work across like. I can't talk to people in fucking Virginia the same way that I talk here. So like, you put an ocean between us, and it's like, oh. What does that word mean?
So October 31st became like the celebration day because as touched on earlier, November 1st and Celtic lore was like the new year, the beginning of the winter. So they viewed October 31st as the day that the veil was the thinnest. And that was the Day of the Dead, essentially.
Yeah.
The day you could talk to them. And so food and drink was always put out for these wandering spirits. They said the spirits traveled from east to west. I have no idea why I did that because I don't know if that's east or that's west.
Oh, is that following the sun? Is it like a rising the east, sets in the west? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like there's many Irish legends of people experiencing like fairies on that day, stuff like that, spirits of their neighbors. So a bunch of grown men would put on masks, like moo, and would travel and protect their villages from evil spirits. So that's where we get masks and stuff from.
It's interesting, yeah. That's like I mean, like when I haven't heard much stuff about fairies around Halloween. Like that'd be more in May Day, 1st of May. Like my grandmother, God rest her, she used to always leave out kind of plates of food for the fairies on the 1st of May, you know. Like it's also like it's St. Bridget's Day, I think, or it's near St. Bridget's Day anyway. But there was like a big deal about like leaving the kind of like food out for the fairies the next day, and they leave you alone for the year then, you know. But there'll still be places to this day, there's kind of like ring forts and fairy forts that you're not allowed to kind of knock down, or if you go into it, you can't take anything out. So it might just be a piece of land, but if there's any rubbish in it or stones in there, you can't take anything out of it. Because apparently they'll come after you.
Like this pack of cigarettes has been there fucking 20 years, but
you leave it. You just don't go near, kind of thing, you know.
If we want to jerk off together,
yeah, sure, fuck it. Also, real quick to the comments. That's what my OnlyFans is for, and yes, they're thick, they're fucking. But that reminds me, I watched a show called fucking Hillier. I think it's on Netflix. I know that it's on Hulu and Amazon and on YouTube.
Okay.
But, there's these people, they're paranormal investigators, and they're looking for like goblins and Bigfoot and whatever.
Oh, I don't know shows. Yeah.
There was one episode that I just fucking thought was hilarious because they were looking for fairies or the fays, and their rationale was, so Somerset in England is like where like, you know, the fairies live, like that's their like hometown. So they went to Somerset, Kentucky.
As you do, okay.
Try to communicate with the fairies, and it's like, just because they have the same name does not mean that they're the same place. Like I don't know because I haven't been to either, but I would imagine that Dublin, Ireland, and Dublin, West Virginia, are probably not.
Yeah, probably. I'd be willing to take that bet. Yeah.
No, I don't know. They might be. Like there might be some fucking portal there. A fucking like transfer through, but I don't think it's the same.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of those shows are really kind of like shit. Like I think it probably one of the shows probably like was really successful. They made a load of spin-offs, but like it's how many times can you watch the same thing over and over again where it's like we're going to solve this mystery or we're going to like find ghosts and no one's captured anything of relevance, you know? So it's at all.
I'm pretty sure that The Simpsons is on season 32, if that answers your question.
Fair point. 32, that's insane. Yeah.
So,
I've seen some of the newer episodes, but just didn't really get it. I was just like, meh.
No, candy origins of Halloween comes from very like completely different sources. There are several things that kind of led to this.
Right.
Like in Toronto, Canada in 1945, there was a riot of teenagers.
Wait, have you told me that candy at Halloween is a fucking Canadian tradition?
Hold on.
I'm losing.
So basically, there's this massive riot. And the riot didn't stop until the police showed up with tear gas and water and stuff like that.
In Canada?
In Canada.
Huh.
I swear to God.
All right. I thought that was a dictator thing.
The police ended up arresting 13 teenagers and took them back to their police precinct.
Yeah.
A riot of over 700 children and teenagers formed outside of the police precinct and demanded a release. And of course, that crowd wasn't dispersed until water cannons and tear gas.
Yeah.
So the following year, the local businesses and homes started handing out candy to appease the children to try and stop them from, just fucking shit up.
Okay.
Canadians, man. Like, first off, they come out with the fucking candy, and then they do, what is it? Poutine. You ever had poutine?
Oh, fuck.
Have you ever had poutine?
No. What is it?
Okay, so you take French fries. You take French fries, right? Or do you guys call French fries chips? Or is that
chips? Yeah, chips.
Okay, so you take that, and then you put cheese curds on top of it, and then you pour piping hot gravy on top of it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, I've had stuff like that. I've had like gravy on chips and stuff like that, like in, or what did they call it in Germany? Currywurst or something.
Yeah. But the fucking Canadians came up with that.
Oh, okay. Fair play to them. Good lads.
Yeah. It's going good, Matthew. How are you?
Yeah. So.
Yeah, birthday on Thursday. So happy birthday to Matt.
Oh,
yeah. Happy birthday. Let's go.
So after that, there's also a medieval tradition in Europe called souling, which poverty-stricken families and children would gather outside of home and do prayers and songs for the dead. So like Christmas caroling, but about dead shit.
Okay.
And they would receive cake.
Yeah.
So that's one of the origins.
Dude, I would have loved to get fucking cake instead of fucking
free cake. I'll take that. Yeah.
Dude, like, that's the only reason I got married. Like, I love my wife and all, but I would have been okay with just being her girlfriend or being her boyfriend forever. But like,
just cake.
Married, there's cake.
So like this tradition, because of the Catholic Church, was known to become as All Saints Day or All Hallows Day.
Yeah.
But eventually people won out and they called it All Hallows Eve or Halloween eventually.
Yeah.
So these traditions didn't really reach America until the Irish potato famine of 1844 to, I believe, 1852, because hundreds of thousands of Irish immigrants, which my family was part of that, came to the United States. And then, of course, we just started celebrating these traditions.
Did you know the Irish potato famine is America's fault?
Really?
Yeah. So I don't know what the deal was potatoes in Ireland before this.
Right.
But we, and by we, I mean like Americans fucking however the fuck long ago, came up with this like super fucking potato that
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, it would just like breed nonstop, and like the crop yield was like fucking 10 times the normal potato plant. So the Irish, not to knock you, but being as dumb as Americans were like, let's get rid of all our potatoes and just use this shit instead because that means more food. And then this like virus came through that didn't affect all potatoes, just this like one American brand of it, and then that just like fucked Ireland's fucking like farming community.
Oh yeah, big time.
So sorry, on behalf of the United States of America, Ireland, I am sorry for the potato famine.
Fuck you, Ireland.
I take full responsibility for shit that
so like
people who weren't my ancestors.
A lot of our traditions
years
with pumpkin actually come from you.
That was turnips, right?
No, actually, one of the big stories that came over about jack-o'-lanterns was an Irish legend about a man named Jack. And when he was alive, he tricked the devil into not taking him to hell.
Right.
So, but when he died, he went to heaven, and St. Peter said, "No, dude, not you. You lived a pretty shitty life."
Hey, real quick, can we have a conversation about that? How did he trick the devil? Because like the devil, like as big and bad as Boogie as he is, he's kind of a dumbass. Like that dude can't even beat fucking rednecks in fucking Georgia on a fucking fiddle. So some asshole in Ireland beat him with a fucking turnip. Like I need to hear the backstory on this.
I've heard like lots of stories about that, like all about him being kind of tricked. Like one of the places that we have, it's just up the mountain from me. It's called the Hellfire Club, and it's all about like the devil kind of showing up and. Like it was a place, it was kind of like a lodge. Sorry, yeah, they'll play cards and kind of had drinks and stuff, you know. But one of the lads he dropped his card when they were kind of playing cards with the stranger, and he looked down and he saw his hooves, and then the devil just burned the fucking shit out of the place. Then, you know. So like, I mean, there would be a lot of stories about him being caught and found out and big stuff, you know.
Do you know why he burned his cards and fucked off? It's because he had a losing hand and didn't want to fucking deal with the ante. Fucking Satan, you fucking bitch. Like, dude, pay your fucking tab, motherfucker.
Yeah. So, back to my shit. We're talking about the cow now. No.
Cows, okay.
Jack was doomed to wander the earth when he died because the devil didn't want him. Heaven didn't want him.
Yeah.
So he wandered the earth with his lantern looking for what place to rest. A jack-o'-lanterns, that's where that comes from.
It rings a bell. Like I vaguely remember hearing something about it, but I wouldn't really know the story too well now.
And then, Halloween was originally known as Mischief Night, and that came from England. November 4th used to be known as Mischief Night. November 5th was Guy Fawkes Day.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah,
and eventually that was moved to November 30th.
Also on this though, and I would like your opinion on this, Damien. I have a decent amount of British friends, and like I love them to fucking death, and they're fucking great. But every time something comes up where it's like, dude, fuck England, it's like, okay, so I have some friends, and I don't want to say fuck England, but then like my mind rolls back to 1775, and like what is it? The Yankee Doodle starts playing, and it's like, yeah. I remember
like a Star Spangled Banner dog.
Yeah,
I love playing Total War New Empires where you can fight the British as America, and I'll put a walk on the entire time as I destroy the British Army.
Kevin, Diane, love you guys.
Diane, you're awesome. You're great, and I appreciate you as a comedian.
But historical differences aside.
But
he said with his German Imperial helmet.
I've seen that over the last kind of year or two, especially on your national day. It's July the 4th, isn't it?
Yeah.
4th of July. Yeah, I've seen that with like I think it's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek thing, but there's a lot of people in the UK refer to it as like Colonial Treason Day now. Yeah. So do you know what it's like? I think it's Happy Colonial Treason Day.
Fuck you, Dad.
Dude, no, that's like one of the other things too. I think fucking hilarious is like, because like you know, let's be honest, America does a lot of dumb, fucked up shit. But every time I hear a English person say something about the shit we're doing, it's like, Dad, Mom, I learned it from watching you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, in Detroit, Michigan.
It's a shithole. If you come here, don't go there.
Devil's Night.
Noted. That's from The Crow, isn't it?
What?
The Crow. Do you know the film The Crow?
Yeah.
Was The Crow in Detroit?
I believe
Devil's Night. No, Devil's Night. Remember that? That's when all that stuff.
Devil's Night is celebrated with arson, and it reached its peak during the 1980s. A lot of places burnt down.
Jeez.
So that's really kind of the history of Halloween, how the names got places. I want to talk to you about have you seen these PSAs for like check your children's candy and shit like that?
I mean, I've heard about it. Like, growing up, it was always kind of
Right.
stuff like that. Like,
where it's like nobody's really putting razor blades in candy apples.
So we're
I think
gonna
there was like one example of it happening like one time in America in the 1950s or something.
so we're going to talk about that right now. Because every year in America, it's always like, check your kids' candy, blah, blah, blah. They're going to put this in. They're going to put this in.
Also, real quick, I saw this meme, and it was broken in half Snickers bar, and inside of it was
a Panzer unit.
Yeah, no, it was a bunch of fucking Nazis goose stepping. It was like, hey, listen, check your kids' candy. My kid just had an entire SS regiment inside of a Snickers bar.
So 1974, Ronald Clark O'Brien, he laced his son's pixie stick with cyanide.
Jeez.
Wait, it was a pixie stick?
It was a
pixie stick?
Yeah.
Like they didn't have the fucking dignity to put it inside of a fucking Twix or a Milky Way?
Definitely an easier way of doing it, wouldn't it?
Basically, a week before this, O'Brien took a life insurance policy out on his kid.
Right.
So basically, dude, his kid's retarded. So basically, he opened the end of his pixie stick,
right,
and stapled it shut. Which we all know that's not how you close a fucking pixie stick.
Well, no, we know that now. Listen, people in the past have done a lot of dumb shit, and it's easy for us to say, yeah, no, you're a fucking idiot.
Like,
hindsight.
In perspective, it's like, well, I mean, given the information.
So he was arrested so easily because he literally asked his neighbors, like, hey, if you killed your kid with cyanide, how much would he give him? Like shit like that.
Are you serious? Jesus.
So they found like 6 pixie sticks with enough cyanide to kill 2 grown men.
Fucking hell. Jesus.
And so basically his kid died on the way to hospital of cyanide poisoning. So they canvassed 2 blocks of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the only guy that served pixie sticks was O'Brien. Like, that's right. It. That was the only fucking person. So they arrested him easily. And he became the first person under Texan law to die from lethal injection.
No way.
They stopped with the electric chair and like hanging?
Yeah, okay. They just killed him with lethal injection. Would have been fucking funny if it was pixie sticks.
So speaking of capital punishment, I do think that if you are a military veteran or any type of first responder, so like firemen or EMTs or police, and you do something fucked up, you should have the option of death by firing squad.
So
yeah, I mean, if I had to pick a way to go, yeah, definitely firing squad, no problem.
So, fun fact: the day of his death, there's over 300 protesters outside of the execution, and they chanted "trick or treat." And then you got the anti-death law protesters, and they just painted those metal motherfuckers with candy. They just threw candy at them the entire time.
Did they look at first so it stuck to them?
Brilliant.
So that's the history of Halloween. Like our Halloween is based in so many fucking traditions, but it's very heavily Irish.
Yeah. Hey, so speaking of that, what did you do as a kid for Halloween? Like in Ireland?
Yeah, like say when I was really, really young, I used to go down to like my grandparents, which they lived down the country, and my nana, like God rest her, she would have been really kind of big into stuff like this, you know, but she would have put on like a bit of a show, so you'd be bobbing for apples, and you'd kind of like play all these different kind of Halloween games, and then you go trick or treating and stuff, you know.
Also, what was your grandma's name?
It was Mary.
Mary. Hey, so This is for Mary.
Mary.
Doing this for Grandma Mary.
And other one, Kathleen. God rest her too.
Gonna
Get,
go great.
oh, no, we got one for Kathleen. Get one for Kathleen.
Kathleen.
But yeah, as I kind of grew up, then we just started like trick or treating around the area. So yeah, just the standard typical stuff. That'd be about it, you know. I mean, back then you'd be getting like bags upon bags upon bags of stuff, like, you know. It's brilliant. Loved it.
Okay, so on that,
Yep.
there was this thing I used to do where me and my friends we'd get together, and what we would do when we were trick or treating was one of us would go to a house at a time instead of you know, all of us together, and we'd pick a house. And what we would do is, you know, like my buddy Alex would go up, hey, trick or treat, blah, whatever. Hey, isn't this house where that guy killed himself? Okay, all right, no, never mind. Leaves. 5 minutes later, you know, Jim would come up. Hey, isn't this house where that guy killed his entire family? No, okay, all right, bye. But look, it would be all the same house. We would do it. But what that got me to want to lead to is, what did you dress up as? Like, what was your costume?
Like when we were really, really young, it was
like you, like not what's tradition, but like, what did you do? Like, what was your thing? Because like I would do like Power Rangers or like a space alien or like, you know, this, that, whatever. But like, what did you like to dress up as when you were a kid trick or treating?
Like, I kind of grew up in generation. Well, when I was really, really young, Ireland was just coming out of this massive like kind of recession. So when I was kind of growing up, we were starting to see that economic boom that became known the Celtic Tiger. But there were still kind of like, yeah, that's what we call our massive like economic boom. It's
okay,
called,
so once again, I have to bring it up that the Irish are actually, no, I'm going to round this up to the British Isles overall. Like, you're really polite about bad stuff, but when good stuff happens, you have no shame. It's like, yeah, bloody civil war. Yeah, we just had some trouble. Oh, did we get some money? Yeah. This is Celtic Tiger.
Celtic Tiger. Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah, I suppose everyone over here would know that, you know. But yeah, like I was starting to kind of get better, but like we didn't really have a concept of really fancy costumes. So your mother would just get like a black kind of like rubbish bag, cut like 2 holes in the side. You like pop that over you, and you might get like a plastic 99p mask, and that'd be about it, you know.
Nice.
So yeah. And nowadays it's all fancy, like it's all Marvel superheroes and like really cool Gucci costumes and stuff like. But back then, yeah, black bag, couple of plastic bags. That's your costume.
I had a really good Halloween when I was fucking, I don't know, somewhere between like 10 and like 13, like that age-ish. But I had an uncle that was a fighter pilot, and he let me have his.
No way.
And it was funny because like he was my dad's sister's husband, so he married into the family. Yeah. So like my family are very we're large, we're good peasant stock, as one might call it. Like we might not be pretty, but we can fucking move and break shit.
Yeah.
And you know, his family was you know, like they came from money in South Carolina, and it's been a hot minute, but I'm pretty sure they're still living off of slave money.
Jeez.
But what little tiny guy, like I fucking love him to death. He's like almost like a second fucking dad, but he's also like, you know, 5'3". So you know, fucking, you know, 10. I was about, you know, same size physically. So it's like, I get this fucking badass flight suit and this like cheap ass like alien thing. So it's like, yes, I'm from the future. I'm an alien.
That's so cool,
dude. Hold on. Dan brought the good stuff.
What the fuck is that? Is that a sausage?
It's deer.
All right, okay.
I hunt and I butcher everything myself.
Well done, fair play to you. That's really good. What was it, like deer sausages or something, or?
Yeah, it's pepperoni sticks.
Oh, all right, that's cool. Gee, fair play to you.
Fucking Rudolph.
You had it coming.
This one is sweet and spicy.
Cool.
That's good. Fuck, I wish you were here, man. We give you we could show you our wiener. You could
look how big it is.
Jesus, man. Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool. Fair play. And you kind of prepare it all yourself and all, do you?
Yeah, man, I grind it up myself and stuff like that.
This isn't that same fucking deer, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Dude, we killed this, or I'm sorry, he killed this deer like October last year, maybe November. And he was super excited. He came over just like tears in his eyes because he was so happy because it was his first buck, right? And like we're outside in my garage, and like my garage is like, you know, it's tin. Like there's no insulation, there's not a heater or anything. It's like 15 fucking degrees, and he's got this like ear to ear smile with like a razor blade, just like cutting this fucking deer apart. I'm surprised it fucking lasts this long. Like
there was like 90 pounds of meat I got off of that deer.
Yeah.
Jesus, yeah, some amount. Fair play. What's my go? There was something like I'm obviously wary at the time. I think we got like another 25 minutes left. You know, something that's kind of come up, and I suppose I'd love to get your insights on it. Right?
Hey, let's go.
The whole Marines versus soldiers thing. I don't quite get that. I mean, this is probably a two-parter, right? So first off, right, you've got the Marine Corps, which that's affiliated with the Navy. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And then you have the Army, which is like, you know, ground soldiers and stuff like that. What's the point in having two different groups that do more or less the same thing?
Okay,
You know,
do you want the on paper answer or the actual answer?
Go for the on paper and then the actual then after.
So
I'm curious.
The answer is Marines are supposed to be naval infantry. Our job is supposed to be defending and or taking shit along the coast, or taking islands, or like securing ports, or like being frontline shock troops by the ocean.
Yeah, that's what
in reality, fucking the Pentagon is if you compare how about this? Here's Einstein, and here's people who eat Play-Doh, and then here's the Pentagon way over here, right? Over the course of I guess since the fucking 40s, since the Marine Corps did bang up enough fucking job in fucking World War II, that they kind of shifted it towards making it a second ground army. And there is a lot of fucking issues that we bring up with that. Like a lot of the banter is like, hey, listen, we've been in Iraq and Afghanistan for however the fuck long. They're both landlocked countries. Why the fuck is the Navy there doing it? Also, I'm sorry to the Marines that are listening to this. If you look at the seal, it's Department of the Navy, United States Marine Corps. We're part of the Department of the fucking Navy. And we're supposed to just be like doing ship security and shit close to the fucking ocean, so that we get on shore, break it open, and the Navy, and then the Army can go do the rest of it. However, there's two things that come into this. Like, they've like the bureaucrats have made it to where like we're a second ground fucking army. Okay. And then depending on how you want to look at it, like if you want to be like a bantering asshole about it, you could say, dude, no, I've had some. Oh god, oh, my wiener fell out of my hole. But the other thing too is like, hey, listen, if the Army could do their job, then the Marine Corps wouldn't have to be here right now.
Okay. So, what is it the case? Because I've heard you kind of chatting about it before. You're basically saying that, or you have said in the past that Marine Corps training is a bit more intense or a bit more effective compared to Army infantry stuff. So then, what's the point of like having the
Army
boot
camps 8 weeks? Marine Corps boot camps is 12.
Yeah.
Okay. So why not kind of get rid of one or the other? Like, why have two people who are doing the same job? I suppose that's what it comes down to.
You'd think they would. However, and one of the things that I will go back to on this is when they raised the flag over Iwo Jima, somebody said, hey, listen, this guarantees a Marine Corps for the next 500 years. And it kind of true so far. But the other thing, too, though, is not only with initial training, but with preparedness and readiness in general. You're like, so you know how like you can break the military up into like I guess 5 bits. Like you have your like your infantry dudes, the dudes that actually do the fucking shit, your combat service guys, so like artillery or like mortar tier engineers, the guy that like helps these fucking people out, and then you have like your air wing guys, and then your maintenance guys, and then your like fucking office workers dudes.
Yeah.
Imagine like that's the scale on that. So like with infantry, people that help infantry, other fuckers, air wing. So these people work, but it's not as dangerous. The Marine Corps trains all their people up to fucking here.
Yeah.
So, like say in the Army, right? Like you have your infantry dudes that are like out there breaking shit, fucking shit up. And then like you have everybody else that like, hey, we're gonna give them a gun, but like maybe don't give them ammo because like we don't want them to fuck shit up. In the Marine Corps, the way it goes is like, all right, so we have our infantry breaking their shit, and then like we're gonna train our not guys up to fucking here. So like you wouldn't take like a bunch of like office worker dudes or like mechanics and like put them on the front line for an assault. However, the way the Marine Corps fucking trains our shit, we could put them in a defensive position and expect them to perform adequately.
Like
Yeah, that makes sense. I've heard that, isn't it? Like every single Marine is trained to be a rifleman first, isn't it, or something?
They say that in its propaganda, and that's absolutely not true. Every Marine is not a fucking rifleman. There's a lot of fucking office work for fucking pistol pushing fucking motherfuckers. They should be part of the fucking Navy.
But the thing was, during World War II,
yeah,
you had the Army fight one theater, and the Marine Corps fought another.
Yeah. So like the Army killed the fucking Nazis. The Marines killed the fucking Japs.
Yeah,
but
the Japanese, and that's a completely different war, 100%.
Yeah, true.
For November, anybody listening, listen to What in the History. But for November, I'm doing nothing but military episodes. Like
also in November, not to cut you off, the only holiday that matters is in November. It's the 10th of November. It's the Marine Corps' birthday. Fucking yut sipper fight. Oorah, devil dog. But yeah, no. The other thing with that though is like you couldn't. I'm sorry. So if you have a line, you have the line, like enemies over here, you're over here. You could take I don't know if the Irish have, or if you guys have a derogatory term for this. We call them pogues, personal other than.
Yeah, I remember you using the phrase. We wouldn't have one for
motherfuckers, people that aren't in combat, people
who
jobs don't see combat.
I'd say that the closest to that would be sandbagger. So that's what I would have been in the reserves, and it would have called us that the whole time, because we were volunteers, if you get me, But sandbagger.
Right. So in the Marine Corps, we could take those dudes and put them in a defensive position and expect them to hold that line.
Yeah,
you couldn't do that with our army.
Getcha. Okay. So again, so what is the point then, right? So if you have like one group there, right? So we have the Marines who have this longer training and are kind of upskilled to a higher level, then what is the point of having the army? That's not a diss. I'm genuinely being the outsider looking in. I mean, over here in Ireland, we'd have just like the army, and you'd have like, say, obviously the Navy heads will be kind of upskilled and like weapons training to defend the ship,
The army's not that. The army's big, but the Marine Corps is only 160,000 strong. So
how many's in the army?
A couple million.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Jeez, I didn't think it was that kind of.
So the Marine Corps is 1% of our military.
So the Marine Corps is spread out because we do deployments with the Navy and stuff. Yeah. So everything that pops off in the Pacific and stuff, we're able to be there because we're already there. We're an expeditionary force.
Yeah.
We're an assault force.
So there's two things in this. Remind me about aircraft carriers here in a minute, because that's the main point.
Fun fact,
the actual
me and Tripp actually served on the same aircraft carrier, the Macon Island, about a 3 years difference.
Yeah, we were a little bit apart on that. But the actual answer to that is because the United States of America has a fucking war economy, and since we decided to lighten up tariffs and start buying steel from China and India, and they don't have to buy material fucking goods from say central United States anymore, giving us jobs. Our economy has shifted to where the vast majority of actual money making that comes into the US comes from either building computers or building fucking weapons. And weapons are the only thing that America fucking makes anymore. Right. The other thing with that is to put it into a strategic perspective, right? So imagine you have soldiers and you have Marines, right?
Yeah.
And soldiers at best fucking drop in out of a fucking airplane out of the sky and just bring down fucking death and fucking kick fucking ass doing their fucking goddamn job. However, you have to have an airbase close enough to that to get an airplane over there. And airplanes can only stay in the air for so long. Yeah. Or we can take how many Marines are on a mute? We could take 5,000 Marines and put them on a boat 2 miles away from your fucking country and say, hey, listen, There's 5,000 fucking people
That
over here that want to
includes,
stab you to fucking death and eat your fucking guts.
Amphibious assault vehicles, light armor recon, infantry platoons, artillery platoons, mortars, everything to invade a country is divided amongst 3 ships.
Yeah, so it's like we can put people in the air, kind of, but like even then, it's still got to be in international waters before we like actually declare war. Or we're not going to declare war. We're going to just put 5,000 of these dudes right on the fucking international boundary line and say, "Hey, you've been acting stupid." I'm not saying that there's an invasion force right here, but there's an invasion force right here. And if you don't unfuck yourself, we'll unfuck you for you.
Right? Yeah, it makes sense. Like I suppose when you're going to put it like that, because I mean, I would have thought that just from the I suppose the brand recognition of the Marines, that I thought it would have been like 50-50 between the Marines and the Army in terms of like manpower. But it's amazing that it's only 1% of the overall kind of armed forces. That's crazy.
Proud.
Yeah, no, and the other thing too is like if you look at the scale, like you have your like assholes that don't. This is Army. Assholes that don't do anything besides paperwork. They're all overweight. Like none of them even know what the fuck a rifle is or how to fucking load it. And you have your like tier 1 like shit happens. You didn't know we were there. We just woke up one day and everybody was fucking dead. Like fucking like shit you only see in movies, and we have to lie about how fucking cool it is because it's doing this. This is the Army. The Marine Corps is like it's over here, but it's like here. Like we don't have this shit. We don't have like the super cool fucking Delta Force shit.
Yeah.
But we don't have any of the why are you here? You're wasting our time by even fucking showing up right now.
Well, like also the Marine Corps, we have the battles too. Like even in
name recognition. Yeah. We might end up going a little bit over time, but I don't give a fuck at this
Bella Wood in World War II or World War I. Then we have the Pacific. People know Iwo Jima. People know Saipan. They know Guadalcanal. And then Korea, Incheon and the Frozen Chosen. Vietnam, Quezon. That's what we're known as.
There's also an argument that the United States Marine Corps is why our side won World War I.
Really?
So what is it in 1917, 18? The Germans fucking sent fucking Vladimir Lenin back into fucking Russia, that became its own fucking clusterfuck. But because of that clusterfuck, Russia dropped out of the fucking war. So the Germans took all these dudes that were fighting the Russians and sent them into France. And they did what is called the Spring Offensive, where after 4 years of like, you take 100 yards, I take 100 yards, you take 100 yards, back and forth, they pushed to like within like 40 miles of fucking Paris, just steamroll through fucking France. And the British and the French and critics don't like to give us fucking or give Americans credit for this because we didn't fight the war, we just showed up in the last fucking few months and like claimed victory. But it's like, hey, listen, you guys were stalemating and the Germans started kicking the ever-living fuck out of you. And then the Americans showed up and started pushing them back after the French and British couldn't fucking hold land in fucking Belgium and fucking France.
Yeah.
There was this guy, Alvin York. And this dude was one of those dudes that had to have like chronic lower back pain because of his fucking balls.
Well, another big thing to say is he was from Tennessee, which you don't know what that means, but that's South. That's I fear God, and that's it. That's the kind of South it is, and like his religion prevented him from killing people, which all religions should.
Yeah, no, but it was weird because this dude ended up in a situation
backwoods. And he didn't want to join the service. His church actually gave him conscientious objector status.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck, God told me I need to go to war. So he went to war and he killed 30 Germans single-handedly. He captured 125.
But the way he captured them was he jumped into the trench and he had a machine gun, which was weird to have in World War I because he's like, hey, so there's this Mexican standoff. I have a machine gun, you have bolt action rifles. Let's see who wins. And all the Germans were like, Yeah, we're gonna take our chances with the POW camp. We're just gonna put our rifles in. So like this dude, he's presumed dead because everyone else in his unit got fucking schwacked going over the fucking right. And then like 6 hours later, there's like 300 fucking Germans marching up to the line, and behind them is like fucking Alvin York with his
one guy. The machine gun.
Hey, no, I got it, guys. I got it. I got him.
That's really cool.
Alvin York is one of the few Congressional Medal of Honor recipients that's like struggled with it. Like, should I have killed these people? Would my God be okay with it?
Yeah.
Like he's very well known for being very what's the word? Upset with the fact that he won a medal for this.
Yeah. No, the other thing I do want to bring up is the Harlem Hellfighters. So,
my God,
yeah,
I'm not sure what your cognizance is with American history, but like as Americans, historically, I want you rant. Let me get my little bit off.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So historically, as Americans don't like black people, right? So
no
like,
way.
Yeah, no. So like after we like conscript all these fucking black dudes and send them to fucking war, like a lot of them got lynched when they got off the fucking bus coming home with their fucking Medal of Honor fucking wrapped around their neck. However, which is fucked up beyond belief.
Yeah, what the fuck, like?
But while they were in France, there was this dude. I forget what the fuck his name was. It wasn't Kelly, was it? Was it Kelly? There was this dude. I forget what the fuck his name is. Like his likeness is the guy that's on the front of Battlefield 1, the fucking video game, right?
Henry Johnson.
Henry Johnson. This guy. This motherfucker. Fucking. I'm just gonna say, like, if you thought Blade from fucking Marvel was a badass, imagine that, but so he's got a shovel and the vampires are Germans.
His nickname was the Black Death. So the Hellfighters, they get to France.
Oh, and we wouldn't even equip them. They had to wear French uniforms and shit because we wouldn't give them uniforms.
American forces were under the command of General Pershing. Pershing's like, no Allied command's going to control Americans because America.
Is he the 6-star general or something? Is it?
Yeah.
Pershing, he was a 6-star. He was a 5-star in America. However, European militaries have field marshals, and we don't have.
Yeah.
So we're like, well, if we want you to be taken seriously, we got to give you a 6-star. So also is credited with inventing jumping jacks.
That's him.
Okay. Like him even more. So like he said, no American forces is going to be controlled by Allied forces.
Yeah.
And then you have a black regiment, the Harlem Hellfighters.
And this is Army, by the way, not Marines.
Army.
They were Army. Right. We have to give credit.
So he's like, but these guys, they're going to the French. So he gave up an entire regiment to the French because they're black.
Jesus.
So these guys got nothing but French provisions. They had American rifles, but they're given French ammunition, French uniforms, French everything.
Right.
I'm just saying, like entrenchment tools, you know, your little shovel that you like are supposed to dig holes with, they can be as bludgeoning objects.
These guys are the only unit in World War I not to retreat and not to lose a man to prisoner of war.
Right. Jeez, fair play to them.
Who's that little guy in the background?
Oh, it's just the kids. They're doing some sort of like. It's kind of like Easter egg hunt, except it's Halloween. You know, like the streets kind of hidden everywhere. Like so, they're probably been looking for a bag of sweets in the corner there for like the last 2 hours
on Halloween.
That's awesome.
It's kind of one of those things because like they can't do the stuff that they normally like to do. They can't go out to their friends or families or anything. So we just basically stash sweets all over the house randomly and sent them.
So I can't remember the exact night, but Henry Johnson and his buddy were on a observation post. They were like 100 yards ahead of their line. They're in no man's land.
Great.
They have a radio and barbed wire surrounding them.
Yeah.
So they sense enemies coming at them. So Henry Johnson starts engaging them with grenades. And his buddy gets injured.
Yeah.
So he can't call back. So he's throwing grenades. Then the Germans get close enough to use a rifle. But he accidentally put French ammunition into his American rifle.
Right.
So he cages them in hand to hand.
Jesus.
So
Okay.
Once again, you have this little shovel thing that you're supposed to dig holes with. Turns out you can use it as a sword.
So the Germans think they killed him, and he's laying on the ground, and they're about to assault the American position. So he gets back upright, and he kills. In total, he killed 7 German soldiers with his bare hands, and then he wounded almost 24 with grenades.
Jesus, fair play.
Nickname Black Death.
Yeah,
Like that.
So he was awarded by France the Chateau de France, which is like the American Medal of Honor. So his entire unit got 138 Chateau de France's. But in like, I want to say 2012, Henry Johnson was awarded the American Medal of Honor.
Yeah, 98 years later.
Yeah.
Congratulations. But there's this other thing. What is it? Our 5th Marine Regiment. They still wear the fourragère, which is like this rope you wear around your fucking shoulder. But I want to say it was at Verdun. Like not during like the Battle of Verdun, because like the Battle of Verdun was in like fucking 1915. And say what you want about the fucking French, they held their fucking own.
Yeah. Oh yeah, big time.
However, this is during the spring offensive. Fucking the Germans said, "Hey, do you know what? I don't care if you're holding Verdun. It's ours now. Fuck you." And that town behind that, fuck you. And that town beyond that, fuck you. And the French were like pulling way the fuck back. And the general idea of it was like, "Hey, Americans, you're new here. You don't know what's going on. You'd be great fucking cannon fodder, right? Like, you'd be great fucking bullet sponges. We're gonna
run that way."
Yeah. So, the 5th Marine Regiment is marching into fucking whatever region this is in fucking France, and the French are bouncing out, and they're like, "Hey, why are you going that way? We're retreating." And the commander of the 5th Marine Regiment says, and I quote, "Retreat? Hell, I just got here."
I was wondering about that. I've heard that phrase like retreat. Hell, I just got here. Oh, I didn't know that was from there.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Yeah. So the 5th Marine Regiment was like, "Retreat? Hell, I just got here." And then they well, I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but imagine getting spit forked while someone was stabbing you in all your fucking holes, and then we did that to the fucking Germans.
Okay,
so
that's mad. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like I've heard that phrase. Yeah,
they also after the Battle of Wood, they gave the Marine Corps the nickname Teufelhunden, which is devil dogs.
So is that where that comes from as well? Because I mean, I read in your books a few times that everyone keeps calling each other devil dogs. Where's that from? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, no, that is where that comes from. However, like I'm pretty sure that's also one of those things that like didn't happen, but we said it happened.
Yeah, well, it sounds cool though. Like just referring to someone as devil dog, I'd be like, yeah,
because it's not grammatically correct in German. However, it is really funny the posters that came out of it, because you have this like a German like little like a wiener dog with his like spike helmet. And then like behind him's like, some, Marine run with this like doughboy fucking like, I don't know what you call the flat, like us in the British had it, the Frisbee.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Yeah, it's kind of got the thing around the sides.
Yeah.
That type of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
I think what actually happened was there was some communication between the German high command and like the ground commander, and the ground commander is like, they fight like devils. Or they fight like dogs, and then like something got mistranslated in our interception of it, because it's arguable to say that we won both World War I and World War II by listening to everyone else's fucking comment or everyone else's fucking radio communications while keeping ours secret.
I get you.
Yeah.
Have you ever discussed that with someone from the UK or anything? Have you ever met any kind of UK soldiers or anything and kind of said that to them? Because that'd be a great conversation.
I haven't like and when I say I haven't like most of the UK soldiers that I know fucking were in Afghanistan in like 2010 or whatever, and it might just be me, but like I haven't picked up that the British are as proud as what their fucking granddads did as Americans are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like I get that. Like, there is that kind of nostalgia to like what they did during World War II type of thing, but at the same time, like it doesn't seem as they don't like. I've never come across anyone from the UK as passionate about it as it would be, say, in America. You know, the way, like, my interpretation of it would be like very kind of super proud about the fantastic achievements of your kind of forebears and stuff like that, you know. But it's almost way more passionate in America than it would be compared to other countries, you know.
And I'm sure a lot of that comes from us being young.
The Marine Corps is based on the tradition of like John Bassel and Smedley Butler, all these war heroes and stuff like that. But like our pride comes from like being badasses.
Yeah.
You know,
not to say that like fucking like the Brits are bad. Like what Tommy was saying. Yeah, no, fucking the Brits are fucking badass fucking shit. Like I know when I was in Afghanistan, they had orders to where they weren't allowed to engage the enemy unless something was hit. So they'd drive around in a fucking truck and they'd start taking fire, but like nothing was hitting anything. So somebody would just shoot the hood and be like, yeah, we got a bullet hole here. So let's go this way and fucking erase these motherfuckers. Like there's a reason that England had a fucking empire.
Yeah.
But I don't think they fucking stand up on it. Like there's this guy I want to tell you about.
Okay.
And I don't know. And if there's any English people or Welsh or Scottish, please fucking correct me in the fucking comments later. But there's this guy, his name was John Paul Jones, right?
Okay.
And this was during our war with our first war with the fucking British, or our first war against the British.
Yeah.
And we kind of had an army, but like our army was like, you know, rednecks with like homemade shotguns jumping out of bushes, like just like.
Is that the militia? Was it? Like, is that the militia? Was that before the Congressional Army thing?
Yeah, pretty much. Like we had a professional army, but there was like 5 of them.
Whoa.
And by 5 of them, I don't mean there's 5 armies. Like there was like 5 dudes there.
Right.
You had this guy during the Revolutionary War named Francis Marion.
Oh, we'll get into Francis Marion, but let me talk about John Paul Jones.
Yep.
Okay, so at the time, like we didn't have a big navy, and our navy was pretty much we're gonna take merchant ships and we're gonna put cannons on them, and all they're gonna do is like defend ports. And it didn't work well because you know, I don't know what you know about the history of the English Navy, but like the British Navy is not something to be fucked with. Like fucking own the fucking seas. However, there was this guy named John Paul Jones, right? And he got himself a ship. And it was like, 30 sailors and like fucking 60-ish Marines. And this motherfucker said, you know what? Fuck it. He sailed to fucking Scotland, burned down ports. Fucking just like, there was battles in England during the American Revolution, but they were all conducted by John Paul Jones.
Seriously?
He sailed on the shore, started shit, burnt shit to the ground, killed everybody, and fucked off before the fucking army or the navy could fucking show up.
That's mad.
He was his ship was in a battle with the British flagship, the Serapis, like the most badass fucking ship that the British had at the fucking time. They had this like 6-hour fucking battle, right? And like everyone's like falling to shit. Both their ships are fucking falling apart, and like his ship starts sinking. And the British fucking captain says, "Are you ready to strike your colors?" Which means you put your sword against the fucking rope that's holding up the fucking flag, and the flag falls down. And John Paul Jones says, and I quote, "I have not yet begun to fight." And then he throws hooks over to this British ship, pulls it over, and then John Paul Jones and his Marines go onto the British ship, kill all of them, and then they take the Serapis back to fucking France, rename the ship, and just fucking declare fucking victory. Like
That's
an
insane,
man. Yes. Yeah. No, what's even fucking better is after the American Revolution fucking ends, you know what this motherfucker does? He goes, hey, there's no war going on, but France is having some problems, so I'm gonna move to France. Joins the French army, fights for fucking Napoleon, fucks the British shit up again. After the Napoleon Wars ends, he goes, well, there's not a war going on. I'm going to move to Russia and fight for these guys. He fought for America, France, Russia. I do want to say at some point he did fight for the English also, and then Spain. And it had nothing to do with national allegiance. It was like, I need to fuck some shit up, and these guys are fucking some shit up. So let me go where these fuckers are fucking.
That's great. I've never heard anything to do with that. I'm definitely going to check it out. Like I've read like bits and pieces about like the War of Independence and the 1812 War and stuff like that. Like, but that's crazy. Never heard of.
No, fucking Tommy was bringing up the ship that he was fighting on the Serapis. Like his ship at the time was called the Ranger. However, if you really look into it, and Dan here is going to tell you about Francis Marion, who, before I get into it, Francis Marion was the guy that the movie The Patriot was based off of. However, if you read into him, he makes Mel Gibson look like a fucking bitch. But if you read into Our War with England, it's very much like Vietnam, except for we're the Viet Cong.
Okay.
But anyway, also we're going overtime, and I don't give a shit as long as you're cool with going over it. We'll go over it.
Keep going.
We'll cut soon, but like, let's talk about Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox.
Francis Marion was known as the Swamp Fox. Like Tripp mentioned, the basis for Mel Gibson's character in The Patriot.
Yep.
So, and have you watched The Patriot?
Oh yeah, it's a brilliant film. Absolutely.
Okay, imagine that, except for the person that it was based off of made Mel Gibson's character look like a fucking bitch.
So, I heard about it when it was coming out. Was it like it's? Yeah, I mean, The Patriot's a fantastic film, but apparently it was embellished a little bit. Your man was.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it was toned down. It was toned down.
So Francis Marion, he served in the French Indian War. He got ranked. He's a military man. So he was stationed in South Carolina, and he kind of foresaw the British was losing in the north, so they moved down to the south where we had no troops.
Also in the south, it's a lot of swamps, a lot of wetland, a lot of the bogs and the marshes.
So when the British, what is South Carolina's capital? Columbia? Charleston. So when they invaded Charleston, they kept over 5,000 troops. So Francis had foreseen this coming, so he hid in the swamps, and he didn't react until his cousin's wife was killed by I can't remember the term of them, but we had American British sympathizers. Those guys.
Oh yeah, I've heard about them. Yeah.
Tories.
Yeah.
So.
And from what I understand, there's still a political party over there, but
it's the Conservative Party. So, like, they're a UK version of the Republicans. Do you call them?
Okay.
I guess, yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah.
These guys were assholes. Francis' cousin was killed because outside of his cousin's house there was a cart for hay. The guy's wife, who was a spy for the Revolutionary War, was hidden under the hay, and the British stabbed her with a pitchfork.
Jesus.
So the cousin saw Francis.
I can't imagine the British doing that.
So they sought out Francis, and he got this group. Guerrilla warfare really evolved during this time. They attacked British. They attacked British at every avenue of approach. They basically defeated them in the South until
and this was shit where like what you're supposed to do is get online, your line here, my line here, and then like they would just jump out of a bush.
I'm gonna fire at you 50 yards away. I'm gonna fire at you 50 yards away.
It's like I'm gonna like come behind you in a bush, shoot you, and then fuck off.
Just guerrilla warfare,
Officers only. They attacked supply chains, which the British viewed. Fuck the British, but they viewed like war as like this pride thing. Yeah. Like nobody of high rank should be shot at. And
like we wouldn't even shoot the infantry guys. It's like no, if we shoot the fucking officers and the supply
officers,
guys,
makes sense. Yeah.
Fusion.
Yeah, you can't fucking feed the troops or like give them a fucking command. So like.
That was the scene in the Patriot, when they kind of sit down and they're kind of have their parlay or whatever you call it. But that was the first thing. Was it Cornwallis, Lord
Cornwallis? Yeah.
And he was super prim and proper, which would be great if he was fighting a war.
Though.
He would have done great if he was fighting a war in Europe. But I don't know if you've heard of Florida Man, but imagine you're prim and proper British Army and you're fighting against a bunch of insurgents who like the fuck alligators. And
Tommy Allen here in your comments knows his history.
Officers first, which was
targeting officers was against like the pride of war.
Yeah. Listen, it's only a war crime if you lose.
So like Francis Marion, they would when units were captured, they would actually steal those prisoners of war back. they would basically like ride into a prisoner camp, like, oh, the rebels are following us, blah, blah, blah. And
Right.
once the main unit of that camp would file out after them, they would just come in and take the entire prisoner capture and, use those Yankee captives as soldiers and stuff like that. And eventually it came down to the siege of Yorktown, where we had basically Cornwallis pinned and where we won the war and stuff. But
and he couldn't even hand over a sword or something. Didn't he get his adjutant to surrender formally or something?
yes, he didn't give us his sword.
Yeah, which I think is one of those fucking great things about like military history in Europe, where it's like, sir, I surrender. Here's my sword, and we're like, yeah, you can take your sword and shut up your ass. Get naked, get in these fucking chains, bitch.
Yeah.
It'd be like a janitor giving you a mop instead of a teacher giving you.
And if I remember right, like they made General Cornwallis surrender to a fucking private, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it's like,
Jesus,
we didn't give him the dignity of like surrendering to a fucking officer. It's like, no, you surrender to the filthy enlisted swine.
God bless America.
That's mad. Yeah, like
Listen,
we
can say all the shit you want about fucking America. I know we have our fucking problems, but like, god damn you if you bring a fucking rifle to us.
clearly, yeah. I mean, it's a fascinating kind of like period. Like I've read, like I don't know all the ins and outs of the American kind of War of Independence, but it's fascinating stuff, Like that Lord Cornwallis, he actually had he came over to Ireland, and a couple of years later, and we had a rebellion in 1798, and he was kind of in charge of putting that down, like, which is brutal stuff, like. But yeah, that's mad. That's interesting.
Cornwallis was a brilliant military mind. The man was just
not in the right mindset for the fucking rice fields.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
No, but I think that's a brotherhood that America and Ireland shares. Like, yeah, we could technically look at England as our parents, I guess, but at the same time, it's like I have a knife, and that's where this conversation ends.
Yeah, we wouldn't kind of have that kind of mindset now. Obviously, we have a lot of historical links to the UK and stuff like that, but certainly wouldn't be kind of parent,
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I guess cousins, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey, now
he wants to say something dirty, but he's like, yeah, no, I got it.
I get it. With the rednecks you're not proud of, but it's cool.
Well, that's cool.
To a bar, we'll fight for you. I promise.
Yeah, there you go. Well, how about this? Instead of free booze or women, you come over to America, and we'll get you into a proper fucking bar fight.
Oh man, count me in. It's been a while. Give you one tip. I don't handle Jack Daniels. Sets me off every single time. Like, so. Yeah, if you want to get in the bar fight, just get me one shot of Jack Daniels, and stand back.
So I have a fun story about Jack Daniels, right? So I was at a bar. It was down the street from here, actually. This is a couple of years ago before all the COVID shit. And my buddy Chuck up here. So it was like me, Chuck, and my wife. And we're at this fucking bar. And this dude shows up. I guess he went to school with my wife. So at first he shows up, he starts talking, and we're like, who the fuck is this guy? And then like my wife's like, oh no, I went to high school in the mall or whatever. And granted, I might be a little bit biased on this, but it looks like this dude's hitting my wife. And part of me is like, all right, so I got to fight this guy. And the other part of me is like, I should take this as a compliment, because like nothing's going to happen anyway. Like, she's not going to fucking do anything. This guy's just making an asshole of himself. And, but either way, like, I don't take it kindly.
Of course.
Anyway, eventually this dude fucks off, right? And he comes back a little bit later, and he goes, hey, let's all do shots. And my wife gives me this look like, get this guy away from me. And my buddy Chuck's like, who the fuck is this guy again? Oh, that guy. All right, cool. And then I'm like, all right, you and me, we're good. Let's not do shots. And he goes, hey, don't be a bitch. And I'm like, okay, let's do shots.
That's fight words, man.
Bar, right?
Yeah.
And it's just me and him. And I'm like, hey, barkeep, give me 4 shots of Jack Daniels. And he goes, oh, I can't do Jack Daniels. I can do anything besides Jack Daniels. And I'm like, I kind of give him the look like, you brought yourself into this, but I'm a compassionate human being. So I say to the bartender, hey, next to Jack Daniels, give me 4 shots of Everclear. I don't know if you guys have Everclear over here. What's Everclear?
No.
You have Everclear?
It's like 180 proof.
Yeah. It's like 10% of it isn't alcohol.
Pure grain alcohol.
Jesus.
Like you can set the shit on fire. Like
Fucking hell, yeah.
hot, right? So we get these fucking like now when I say this, like the blood leaves this dude's face because like he can't do it, but he's already been called out. So,
Yeah.
He can't fucking back out of it because there's like, dignity and fucking involved.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So we get our 4 shots and he goes, hey, are we going to take these? Let's take these back to the table. Like, no. I got 2 shots of Everclear. You have 2 shots of Everclear. And he goes, dude, I can't do 2 shots of Everclear. I'm like, don't be a bitch, right? And he goes, oh, God. So I take my first shot. He takes half of his shot and then falls over puking, right? And
like in the bar, in front of everybody.
No. Immediately, like half of a shot, puts it down, starts puking, falls down. Like this is all like 3 seconds. Yeah. This all happens in like 3 seconds, right?
Brilliant.
So he falls down, starts puking. The fucking bouncers fucking grab him and start dragging him out. And it's a small bar. It's like smaller than my fucking basement. So everyone's watching me. So I take his shot, finish it, and then do the other 2 shots. And then where we're at, we can smoke inside. So I like light up a cigarette because like, yeah, I'm cool. And then as soon as everyone looks away, I put the cigarette out, go into the bathroom and fucking puke my brains out. However, it was behind a closed door and no one saw it. And then afterwards they come up and I pull my fucking zipper up on my fucking pants and go, yeah, that was good piss. Light another cigarette. Yeah, I'm the hero here. I need to go home right now. But
that is brilliant, man. Yeah.
All right. So we're a little bit past our fucking time. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone that fucking tuned in. Real quick, fucking Dan, where can we find comedian Dan Brady?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at dbcomedy814. And also you can follow my podcast. It's available on all streaming platforms, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Instagram, Facebook, at What in the History Pod.
So
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
What in the History podcast. If you're listening to this from somewhere else, if you live in Erie, Pennsylvania, go see his shows. And Damien Larkin, you tell me where we can find you. And sorry, I had a fucking plate there. But tell us where we can find Big Red and anticipate Blood Red Sands. That will be coming soon. And get your ass to Moz. Damien.
Hell yes. You can find me on Instagram. It's Damo underscore danger underscore Larkin, because danger is my middle name.
Is it actually your middle name? Like
no, but do you know what I saw that? Do you know Austin Powers? Did you ever see it?
Oh, dude.
Do you know that, like there's that kind of scene where he's getting all the stuff and it's like Austin D Powers. What does the D stand for? It's like danger. Austin Danger Powers, and it's like danger is my middle name.
All right,
and then he starts pulling out all the stuff.
So real quick, I saw this fucking thing on fucking Twitter. Fucking remind me to send it to you. But I saw this woman. She's an actress, and what she does is like she's very dramatic about shit. But like she had this fucking scene where it was like her fucking doing her shit, and she was like just crying, bawling her eyes out, having this like existential crisis, but quoting Dr. Evil quotes while she was doing. He's like,
really? I think I saw something about it. I didn't watch it though.
Back and beat us.
That's brilliant. Yeah. No, check that out.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm sorry to cutting you off. Fucking, where can people find you, Damien?
Yeah, so Damo underscore danger underscore Larkin on Instagram, Damo Danger Man on Twitter, and Damien Larkin, science fiction author, on Facebook. Blood Red Sand coming next year. You can check me out. Yeah.
Yes, and I will be reading Blood Red Sand when it comes out. But in the meantime, fucking check out and Brady, the fucking comedian, and go read Big Red, because this is a Martian masterpiece. And I'm going to let you borrow this book. You have to bring it back because I like this book. But I'm going to let you borrow this book and you can read it, but you have to give it back to me. I'm sorry, you're not going to get any money off of this one, but you're going to get clout. I guess that makes sense.
Don't worry, I'm a writer.
Know your audience, dude. But yeah,
much appreciated.
Dan, thank you for fucking showing up. Damien, thank you for fucking being here. Happy Halloween. Tell the missus and the children to stay away from the devil.
Get that fucking candy.
Yeah, get that candy. And if they have to meet the devil, play better fiddle.
Okay, will do. Okay, then, gents, absolute pleasure.
Once again, this episode is brought to you by Jameson. They're not paying me. I just like to drink it. Yeah. All right. Adios, Damien.
Legend. Cheers. God bless America.